and that'll be the end of my interruptions for today. So, take a deep breath, ground, recenter, refocus, and we're back. So, this process that we are trying to activate is a real process. So many spiritual schools of thoughts, so many spiritual circles, they try to inspire you to develop your spirituality for external purpose. But what we're trying to bring about is activating your spirituality for the purpose of awakening your cells, awakening your inner divinity, and your cosmic inheritance. A lot of people are not going to help you with this. A lot of people will promote their business, their overall end goal. But when it comes to you personally, you might be lost in the sauce. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, be sure to question us so you can get those particular answers because this course is for you. That's why we keep the limit at 23 and not 100 so we could get really detailed about what it takes for you personally to activate your chakras. Now, yesterday, during the question and answer, there were specific questions that Prime could answer specifically. And this is the beauty of this particular course. There may be some fad courses, there might be some sensational courses that promise the same things that we offer. However, you won't get the personalized attention that we are willing to dedicate for you to actually experience a new realization of what it means to be a quote unquote human being, if that's what you want to call it. So, this chakra is more than an esoteric conversation. Hopefully, through this 7 month process, we are developing a new way of life and a new way of understanding, a new way of application, combined with a new way to submit our results. So it's really important to me, it's really important to Prime that you get what's taking place as opposed to you just being here and it's just cool. Now, there's a lot of energy that would try to pull me away from this mission, but I feel as though it's too powerful. So I'm going to give you guys some basic scientific circumstances that support the concept of chakra nova. So, as I was saying earlier before we get cut off, and this was actually a point that I got cut off when I was explaining the astrocytes and how important they are to your overall spiritual development, because there are no cellular body more prosperous and more potent in your body than your astrocytes. And these control your central nervous system and your blood brain barrier. So, if ever your central nervous system was infiltrated, if ever your brain was infiltrated, there's no defense mechanism within your central nervous system or your brain besides your astrocytes. And the etymology of astrocytes is just star cells. So I try to be real clear with people. When I discuss astrology, I'm referencing your Kundalini energy. I'm not referencing stars that exist in the sky because I've never been there, but I have experienced my inner being. And this is what we are trying to bring across. So, without further ado, I just want to let you know that the purpose of this course is to activate your chakras. And another word would be a new chakra, hence the word chakra nova. So, if you want a further explanation, it's a cosmic awakening that you cannot deny. And if you go through this presentation with a clear mind and an applicable heart, you will feel the results of the activation of your chakra. I'm going to get into detail of the body parts. I'm going to get into detail of the exercises. And I'm going to get into detail about my personal experiences. We are connecting the astrocytes to the vagus nerve and the vagus nerve is considered the Holy Grail. So when you look in esoteric things and they're referencing Jesus and the search for the Holy Grail, they're referencing this part of your nervous system that rests in the bowels or the cave of your being. Nobody pays it any attention. It's not a conversation in the normal lexicon of, we're talking back and forth. We rather talk about our sexual organs, but there's a little energy in the middle or at the base of your being that's so important to your overall development, and nobody has a conversation towards it. So as we begin to do this, be prepared to have a reset type of experience, meaning that your Kundalini gland, your conjugal body, is your cosmic reset button. And when you begin to deal with it in a conscious, esoteric way, you are releasing yourself from the fight and flight into more of a spiritual understanding that's very blissful and very relaxing. I want to give you guys a disclaimer. If you are doing this work and you are very close to somebody who is not doing this work, not only will you feel the difference, but you will also feel the strain on your spiritual mission versus trying to be morally obligated. So if your moral obligations are very, very important and the people around you have no spiritual center, you may want to wait until you're in a position or in a state of mind to where you can begin to freely express your spiritual journey without it triggering people into making you feel like you're doing something wrong. Because that's what it will boil down to. Because you are now taking the choice to raise up your spiritual energy and people are not, you'll notice stagnancy where you never seen it before. You'll notice pain where you never seen it before. You'll notice discord where you've never seen it before. And as a healer, you have the option to go in there and heal or the option to distance yourself because there may be nothing that you can do. But this is all about awakening the Kundalini. This is enlightenment and a discernment that is beyond your conscious mind. It is a constant, ever-present, deep meditation. It is the deepest sense of bliss after your mic gets cut off, your computer shuts off, kids are running around screaming at the top of their lungs, and all you're trying to do is teach a class, but it doesn't really affect you in the space that you always know where your power comes from, and then the things that try to pull you away. So I'm going to go through a couple of points in relation to the root chakra, and then I'll expound on those points. So when you reference the Muladhara as where does it come from? It is from the root word mula, which is root. We all heard about the Mula Nakshatra if you hip to my astrology. And then Adhara is the foundation. Now, a root and a foundation are behind the scenes, meaning that you do not see the foundation of a home or a building. You do not see the root or the many roots of a tree. However, if you were to disconnect or disrupt that foundation or separate a tree from its root, it would no longer exist. So the things that you see on the conscious or the things that emerge from the earth have nothing to do with the root chakra. In the more spiritual sense, the things that you begin to do spiritually, they should not be seen in the world because this is the root of your energy. I'll do you one better. If you have an intention and somebody says, you can't do that, that's the same thing as them ripping the root out of your spiritual intention. That's the same way as them digging up the seed that you done planted and throwing it in the gutter somewhere. So it's very imperative that you begin to develop an underground sense of what it means to manifest. And the foundation is probably the most imperative, serious thing to the structure of a building. No matter if it gets any credit, no matter if anybody understands the actual validity of what you're saying or what you're intending, that's the least of your concern. because when you actually plant a seed, that seed then does what it's supposed to do. If you tell somebody that you're planting a seed, i.e., the squirrels and the rabbits of the neighborhood, they'll see that thing that you're planting and they'll steal it and won't think nothing of it. And you'll never know that they stole it. They'll get it. They'll get you while you're sleeping. So there's another concept, the secret garden, right? And when you are referencing the root chakra, and the reason why I'm referencing agriculture, because that's the easiest analogy that I could use to equate the power of the root chakra and how it relates to our human experience. So a lot of people will reference hell or reference the underworld. At the same time, they'll reference the divine goddesses or the primordial goddesses as prostitutes, as whores, as the lowest of the lows. The Kalipoff references the energy under the tree. However, in that past example that I gave about the root in the tree, you don't have the tree of life if you don't have the Kalipoff. However, the Kalipoff is something that we don't get to explore or understand because, say, for instance, I start digging around a tree and start to examine every single root, then I'm killing that tree. You leave that shit alone. You plant your seed and you forget about it. No gardener is an expert gardener because he knows how to go in deep into the sea and remove the roots. No, he leaves that alone and he cultivates what comes out of the soil. That's when your responsibility as a human being to deal with this particular energy, but we are not there yet. What are we doing now? We are planting the seed. So the root chakra is the womb. It is the lowest part of your being in an esoteric sense, but in a personal sense, is representing the lowest base part of the spinal column. It actually protrudes out of the body for most of us. The foundation for all life. This is the root chakra, and it's deeply connected to the body. So when you reference hell, you're referencing a lot of people like sex and sin and debauchery and things of that nature. However, in this context, we are looking at hell to be just the underground, and the underground is necessary for all life to be created. Unless they're building stuff in hydroponic tanks and things of that nature, which they are. But for the most part, where we're at in this particular game is tapping into the deepest crevice of the world where all life is created. So, and understanding this symbolic nature, so what I'm referencing, building up to the actual body, is just the symbols. And I'm not going to stay on the symbols. I'm just letting you know that analogies prepare you for the actual realization of this particular energy. And it's not my job or responsibility to talk to you like you're children. It's really to give you the real to real and get you outside of looking at mythology as it's some type of fantasy. Okay. So the symbolic nature of the chakras, we uncovered the subconscious codes that bring about self-realization. So what I mean is that when you actually doing the chakra work, you are awakening dormant and latent energy. And so it's going to be different for every person, but where we all reckon to reason the same results is if we act on those subconscious codes by doing the work. So by setting the table symbolically, I'm going to then give you the actual steps. And then as this process comes up, you then know what to do. You know where it comes from. The same way, if I give you some seeds and I say these seeds can grow a magical beanstalk, Jack, and you like, cool, but you put them under your bed and you just be like, well, the dude who gave me the magical bean said I was going to have a magical beanstalk, but I ain't had no magical beanstalk. And I use that analogy because this is consciousness as we know it within our community. Yes, we can do all of these things, But if we do not know the modality for which to how to plant these particular energies, then we'll just hold them in our hands, put them under our bed, put them on our altar, put them in our kitchen, and never plant them in the earth. So this is the symbology, and this gives us to the actual realization. And a deeper point is that when you look at an anchor or you look at a root, this could be viewed as something that's going to hold you back. Oh, you an anchor. Oh, you too deep. But this is very simply when you look at a tree, and if a tree is 100 feet high, then the indication is that its roots are really, really deep and really, really strong. So what am I saying? A person may say, how long should I do this root chakra work, Hood? I've been doing this root chakra work for 15 minutes. Ain't shit happen, bruh. I don't know what's going on. I say the more that you ground in the daily application, that you actually root yourself into the earth, the more growth and expansion that you'll be able to experience. The same question when you're activating these chakras and activating these glands, since it's deeply connected to breath, you asking me, well, I took your breathing course, Prime. How long do I have to breathe for? You're going to have to breathe forever. You're going to have to do this work as long as it's keeping you alive, until you can tell me the next hot shit that don't, that's outside of breathing that keep me alive. I'm going to stick to the basics. Okay. So in this life, we want to remove any tension and blockages. We also want to awaken any dormant energies within our root chakra. We awaken these dormant energies and let them rise to the surface. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we guarantee the manifestation and the awakening of dormant talents and abilities once this work is activated. The reason why I can't say specifically how it's going to manifest is because everybody has different life paths. Everybody has different intentions, and it's not going to be the same for everybody. But I can definitely guarantee you that you'll feel the electricity in your conjugal body. And if you can feel the electricity in your conjugal body, that is going to tell you that you have an electrical force that you haven't actually worked with yet over time. So continue to work with it. Hopefully you can buy into the supplements, tap into the visualizations, listen to the meditations, and begin to apply this work as we move forward. So a person might ask me, hey, Hood, why is we even talking about the chakras? I don't even care. I'm not into it. You know how people be. That's just not my thing. The chakras, not my thing. I'm more of a spell on your baby daddy type. Cool. However, we are dealing with the chakras specifically to activate our causal body. Because whether you know it or not, you got at least 7 bodies that you don't actually deal with. But since we are down in this lower subplane, we are trapped in thinking that we're just the body, the arms, the hands, the legs, all of this. But actually raising up the chakras from this lower position down up in here, rising it up, we get to expand into the causal body. This is why we disclaim. This is why we play the happy music and get you in a positive vibration. Because if you're doing this Kundalini work and then you thinking about doing harm to your significant other, the whole meanwhile you doing Kundalini work, you're going to bring that harm to your significant other up into your causal body. And your causal body is not going to make the differentiation between, oh, she was just playing, oh, he was just playing. And then things happen and you like, oh shit, I shouldn't have took Prime and Hood's course. We are telling you right off the bat, do not hold negative resentments towards people that you love and care for while doing this work. Because if something happened, you're going to feel responsible. So hold the love and patience and tolerance and whatever positive energy you can muster while doing this work. Because the rising of latent and dormant energies, there is some rage and hate and suppressed negativity that you've been sitting on for the past however many years you've been living, because you haven't really developed the process to rise this energy up into your causal body. I'll do you one better. You operating from your causal body, whether you know it or not. It's just blocked off to us because nobody is talking about it. I'll do you one better. If they was talking to us about how our mind works and how we can activate our causal body since the age of grade school, this would be in a bag. This would be in a cinch. But since they told you this is all you are, day in, day out, hey, your name is TJ. TJ, you sit over here with the girls. Prime, your name is Prime. That's a weird name for a 5-year-old, but you sit over here with the boys, and that's just how it goes. Okay? And so what's going to block your meditation today? The Talu chakra. And the Talu chakra is connected to the eyes. It's connected to the vision. This blocks the Kundalini. So if you are tapped into the work and everything I'm saying is making sense, but you fixated on what's coming through your occipital, whatever, the vision lobe located up in this area. Ain't it weird how you see back up in this? This is where you see at. Ain't that weird? That's Plato, the cave, or whatever, Plato in the cave. However, well, this is probably Plato in the cave analogy, getting the full breakdown right here live. But when you are dealing with this energy, we're just casting shadows, right? This is why no matter what me and Prime say, no matter what happens, is not going to be valid until you do the work. So rising your energy up and over minus the things that you see. So blindfolds in the day, blindfolds when you sleep, perfect. Earplugs, perfect. Because when you're doing the spiritual work and you like trying to see what's going on around you at the same time, that's a distraction. Okay, and so once this energy rises up and out and up in here, you activate in your causal body. But if you focused on what you're seeing, what's going on around you, you might think that we're full of shit. But please listen to this multiple times because you're going to get the recording and understand what I'm trying to say once you go through this process and you figuring out what's working for you, what's not working for you. It is the visual. Because when I first started doing it, yesterday we was doing the meditation, I had my glasses on and I started doing the meditation, and I immediately was like, oh no. I went and got my R. Kelly. It was one of his videos where he had the that's what I think of. He had on the eye mask. I'd be like, these my R. Kelly, my R. Kelly eye mask, but I ain't doing nothing. I just, never mind. I don't even know why I brought that up. I'm throwing my mask and I do the meditation, and I reach another level because I don't have that Talu chakra blocking my Kundalini. And it was so crazy that it took a question and a question and answer for me to even realize this, to even bring y'all this information. So this is the reason for day 2, because we clear out all of the confusion in day 1. Day 2, we get straight to it. And we tell you everything that you need to know. So if you want to tap in fully, you can't be focused in on what you see. And if you don't got the R. Kelly face mask, get somebody else's face mask. A lot of celebrities got them, right? It's very important in the realms of celebrity having a face mask. So what is the causal body? The causal body is the body that we possess that is made of thoughts and ideas. This is why I'm saying, if you bring your causal body and it's filled with negative thoughts and negative ideas, this class is going, unless you is in that lifestyle or something like that. I'm just saying, if you're trying to live a peaceful, prosperous, calm existence, start now, right? Because the causal body is going to bring that to you. If you focused in on your stress, you focused in on your living arrangement, everything is not ideal, but you still want to do this, you want to do this work, you should, but don't focus on where you at. Focus on where you're trying to get to. That's very, very important, okay? Because you're activating your God principle. And if you are God, you get to control, you get to determine how things are going to be. And correct me if I'm wrong, this negative victim mentality is something that is not of God. That's something that is taught to you and given to you to keep you into thinking that this actual causal body don't even exist. I feel like I'm talking, the most craziest shit ever, sometimes. But then I have to continue reading and continue researching. And like, man, this is real. No matter how many people are stuck in this lower level. So this is really important for me to get it across, because no matter how much I know it and how much I believe it, I need everybody on board with me to tap into this level of consciousness. We are not just limited to this third subplane of existence. We're not just limited to the 3D reality. And if we are going to do this work, we have to fully acquiesce to this realization: past lives, future lives, ancestors, spirituality. It has to be real to you. I'll do you one better. The Gateway Process, CIA, published it, gave you the whole rundown. Y'all thought I was being funny when I was talking about astro thoughts. The CIA came in right behind me like, nope, Hood was right. You better wear condoms when you go to sleep. Like, this is real out here. And not to be funny, I'm just saying, it's something that happens when you sleep. We have multiple bodies, and the conversation not being towards this actual fact, we are doing ourselves a disservice, because in the victim mentality, there's so much cause that we can actually bring ourselves to be victorious. The beginningless ignorance that is indescribable. So it's going to be hard for me to pinpoint just exactly what I'm talking about. This is where the questions come in. Kundalini is the process of connecting your causal body to the celestial realm while it's still being connected to the physical life. So when we reference heaven on earth, we're not saying that you got to die first. People go to church all day and wait for this actual revelation to happen. And they say, well, when I die, I can go to heaven. But this realization of activating Kundalini is you being in heaven now. So when you raise Kundalini, you no longer seek external validation, but are validated by the energy surging through your body. So when we do these exercises, when I reference these exercises and I give you meditation and you take the supplements and you just saying, well, I don't feel shit, then I'm like, your Kundalini was already activated to begin with. If you don't feel nothing after this, because the experience that I'm feeling is completely life-changing and I'm blown away. I can't even explain the talents and the abilities and the things that I'm able to do just with my mind. However, the beginning of this journey is simply Kundalini and root chakra and chakra nova. And I got to sign up for the class. How does this scenario end though for you? This scenario ends with you tapping into your power without a shadow of a doubt. You didn't pay me for anything, right? I'm just here giving you the message and telling you about you and the cosmic intelligence that rests within your body. I'm trying to activate your cosmic intelligence within your body. So when you say, oh, I did the shit for 15 minutes, that's not good enough. You're going to have to create a practice, of everyday realization that it is in the breathing, it is in the root locks. We'll talk about it. It is in the activating of my sacral fiber so I can feel this electricity in my body. Once I feel this electricity in my body, I know that I'm a generator. I know that I'm the cause. And this creates a distinction between you and animals, right? So an animal just lives its life and is just a subject to whatever humans decide happens to them. Okay, y'all gonna wear masks today. Okay, y'all gonna be locked up today. All right, take your mask off. People telling you what to do. And it's more of you taking control of your energy to say, y'all can wear masks or not wear masks, but I already know what I'm here to do. And I'm gonna let y'all have at it. And once you activate this process, you are gonna be outside of your usual habits. Why? Because down here, you're gonna be, I can't stand this. I can't stand that. All right, let me do this Kundalini class, causal body. You said you can't stand this and can't stand that? All right, let's just drop shit on your head. You said you can't stand nothing. Dang, why is everything falling around me? You just said that you can't stand shit around you. So it's very clear, if you want to be prosperous, live in a mansion and get feed grapes every day, you need to take that energy into consideration when you're doing this spiritual process, as opposed to knowing that, oh, I can go to Hood for a reading. Oh, I can go to Prime for a consultation whenever I'm stressed out. Oh man, after this Chakra Nova, man, we're going to be too busy going on too many tours, talking across the country. Y'all can't just be coming to us at your leisure. So this is why we are telling you how to build up this energy for yourself. And you can begin to teach your family how to do this. I hope I'm not being too complicated or convoluted. I hope I'm as clear as a goddamn a windshield on a nice sunny day, right? So right now, I just want to discuss some exercises that you can use to raise your Kundalini and that we can actually merge with your God self before we get off this call, right? Before we get off this call, I want you to merge with your God self, right? That's a tall order, but I think you guys can do it. This is different from any program, any class that you're going to go to, because they're going to slow walk you, slow talk you, and you're going to be left with more questions. You know, this is the last time me and Prime going to be live on this subject, so make sure you come with these questions, because once the class over, you know, you can still get the questions asked, but you know, you got us right here. So if you not merge with your God self in full totality, this is the time to see where it is that you messed up. And the questions, and the reason why I say ask the questions, because the answers is not generally the answers is coming from me and Prime. Your higher self is then telling, no, scroll up to the third slide and show the slide again, because what she just said was in the third slide. Oh shit, I would have never knew. It's just like that. It's like a lot of people make money off of doing readings and, you know, being quasi psychic and things of that nature. This is going to be you after this class, and you could begin to say, "Oh, I can do readings and things of that nature," or you could really inspire and grow your life to a level beyond your belief. It just all depends on what you want. But this is psychic energy. This is psychic path working. And this is you having your spiritual energy without no middleman. Okay. And understanding the conjugal body, or the root chakra, or the Muladhara chakra, or the perineum muscle, we are referencing the sympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, the sympathetic nervous system releases hormones that inspire growth, while the parasympathetic hormones inspire protection of your cellular structure and it repairs your cells. I don't know how many times I go to sleep with issues, problems, wake up, and I act like the shit never even heard it before. How did that work? How do I have a pain in my leg, go to sleep, wake up, the pain go away? Did I like how does that, nobody can really tell you that process. Oh baby, just go ahead and sleep on it. Well, that's your parasympathetic nerve rising to the surface. The problem is when you wake up, you just shut the whole shit down. So now your leg is hurting again. You didn't even realize that you actually healing yourself through a state of calm, blissful, meditative, almost sleep-like state. So through the raising of Kundalini is this parasympathetic energy that's healing you and repairing your cells during the day, during your everyday process. You're not waiting to go to sleep to deal with healing. You're actually doing the exercises that's making sure that you having the same experience 24 hours a day. There's no reason that you need to shut it down, right? Especially if there's work for you. You need to have some self-realization. You need to get really close to yourself. Why is you shutting it down? And then when you sleep, you don't even be remembering your dreams and things of that nature. How about you constantly in a dream world when you awake? Because you activate in this parasympathetic nervous system, because it's releasing these hormones that promote your rest and relaxation. Why do you think that you need to be stressed out and on guard 24/7? Has a bear ever came and attacked you while you was walking through the hood, you know, to get you a you know, some of us live in bad neighborhoods, I'll give you that, but a lot of us don't. Look, let's be honest about this shit, okay? You be chilling on your front porch acting like nothing is going on, but you on tilt 24/7. Y'all need to explain this, because when we're dealing with this process and you're dealing with stress, oh, that's another block. I hear you, hood, but I gotta go to work. I hear you, hood, but I gotta go to school. I hear you, hood, but these kids. I hear you, hood, but my mama. I hear you, hood, but my daddy. You just don't know. My baby mama, you just don't know, right? These types of things. And I'm saying, yeah, you're right. I don't know. That's all you. But I'm saying the same way as you ain't going to be able to walk through a brick wall is the same way your Kundalini is not going to be activated if you are focusing on your stress. Stress blocks the flow of Kundalini. Why? Because your sympathetic nervous system is on 10. Your parasympathetic system is like, hey guys, I got some rest and relaxation for you. I got some repair for you. I can make your life better. Shut up. I gotta move. I gotta find this house. It's COVID. Fear. I was watching the news, right? I was watching the news. You wasn't watching the news. I was watching. You would be scared too, right? So the parasympathetic system allows you to grow. There's a deeper level of the parasympathetic system, though, that's called the sacral parasympathetic system, because they're like, we're not trying to be like you. You just always mellow, always chilling. I need to get up and go. I like to go and get it. Okay. You can balance your sympathetic and parasympathetic system through action, rest, and relaxation, but that's just one level. The deeper level is the sacral parasympathetic fibers that supply your rectum, bladder, and reproductive organs. Okay. And then even deeper level than that, because if we look at the conjugal body, right, it starts up in here, then it goes deeper, and then it goes even a little deeper. Then we got the perineum muscle, right? The perineum muscle is what I like to call the gooch. Y'all know what the gooch is. Squeeze it a couple of times, strengthen that pelvic floor. Thank me later, right? The conjugal body is an irregular oval-shaped gland between the rectal wall and the tip of the tailbone, or coccyx. This is also known in Tantra as the Kundalini gland. During active Kundalini, one can often feel the pulsation in the sacrum, which is the Kundalini gland becoming active. Good. How long should I keep my Kundalini gland active? I did it during the meditation, but should I just keep doing it, or? Now, when you ask that question, I'm gonna be like, well, how long should you breathe, man? How long should you be breathing? Should you stop? Go ahead and stop for a little bit and then come back and tell me how that worked for you. When you activate your chakras, when we go through this month after month, this is why we're not doing a 7-week, a 7-day, or whatever, 7-hour, some quick shit. Because you should be focusing in on your Kundalini becoming active as a way of life. And then when we come and deal with the sacral chakra, that is activated as a way of life for a month. And then 7 months of activating each and every chakra without, so now you activated all of your base chakras. And then we get into the pituitary gland. And you can feel your pituitary gland vibrating along with your it escapes me at this point, your thyroid gland vibrating, your Kundalini gland vibrating. You know, these things, you can feel them, right? And if you're feeling all of them in unison, beyond, and then living in the actual examples in the application of the activation of these actual glands, I just had to, had to catch up with myself, right? Because you can feel these things as you just simply mention them and bring your awareness to them, and then you have to deal with the results. This is why it's so important to be mentally and emotionally balanced when you go into these particular things. And now I can't counsel everybody and make sure that you're emotionally sound and mentally sound, but it's definitely necessary that we put this information out now, not now, but right now. So what we're dealing with is chemical messages that are rising in the blood. So when we reference latent and dormant abilities and talents, these energies exist within your blood. These activities, these meditations, these exercises is activating latent iron in the blood, and different metals and different crystals are now becoming active in the blood. And this is directly influencing your nervous system, i.e. your astrocytes. And this is the purpose of Chakra Nova, just in case you didn't understand why you took this course. I can understand, right? That's why you got to kind of let people know what you are here for, as opposed to why they're here for, because everybody can be somewhat confused. Hey, I joined this class. I didn't know it was going to be all of this hood. Dang, what is you talking about, right? So let me just talk about this exercise, one of the exercises that I began to do, and it changed my life completely. Now we're in the store. Definitely, like if you're in a botanica or you're around spiritual people and things like that, oh, that joint started, it'll start vibrating, boy. It start vibrating. And you like, and you know it's vibrating. First you think you tripping, but you, if you doing this practice with your significant other, you like, okay, damn, you feel that too? Yeah, I feel that too. What is going on? It must be some spiritual energy around here. Now, if you might feel this already. However, we are just bringing your awareness to it to bring it into control. Because just because it's happening at a random point, that don't make it right. What makes it right is you can sit and understand what is happening, that your Muladhara chakra is activating, that your Kundalini gland is activating, that it's a spiritual experience taking place, whether you know it or not. So let's just start at the beginning. A Mula Bandha or a root lock is one of the three main bandhas or yogic locks practiced by yogis. You are a yogi, my friend, whether you knew it or not. Okay, so we're dealing with the root word Mula, which actually means root or base or foundation because we're dealing with the root chakra. Bandha means lock. So we have the root chakra and we have a lock. And so once you lock that energy, you are no longer wasting your energy, right? What happens is we have this electrical charge, this electrical energy. We all have central nervous system. I seen y'all dancing and move like a snake, right? That energy is present, it's vibrating, it's activated already, but there's no lock. So when it comes to how do you actually build it, it goes up and it goes down. See, everything that goes up must come down, but if we have no process to lock our energy and send it back up, it can seem like a waste. And then the question goes, I can't meditate, Hood. My mind is always drifting off into, yesterday and the day before, and oh shit, I forgot, is the door locked? Damn, I can't remember if I locked the door. I can't even meditate. So this begins to be a process that you begin to visualize, but beyond visualize, you get to feel it as an exercise, but at the same time is meditation, meaning that when you are locking that root, that's a form of meditation, but it's also an action. It's not a passive thing that is like, I can't focus. That's hard. That's a hard thing to do if you haven't raised your Kundalini to meditate. Why? Because Kundalini is meditation. How about that? Kundalini is meditation. So if you're not plugged in, how do you expect to be charged up? When you dig your energy deep into the root crevices of the earth, you are in a sense plugged in. However, when you build this energy up, you need to create an actual system that has you trap that energy in so you can begin to play with it and attract more energy. So a Mula Bandha is said to activate the Muladhara chakra, thereby stimulating the Kundalini Shakti at the base of the spine. Where's the base of the spine, ladies and gentlemen? The gooch. Say it with me. The gooch, right? Contract and relax. So we're going to do the exercises, but in our workbook, there's an actual section that talks about this in full detail. So you can read over this in your workbook. And I would say if y'all interested in the paperback, they should be here August 2nd or August 3rd. I'll be able to ship those out to you. Just hit me up in the email. Hey, Hood, you got them paperbacks? Can you send me one? I really like this handbook and I want to add it to my collection, right? I'll do that for you because I mess with you. You probably have to pay for shipping though, because I don't got it like that yet. Soon I will, but we'll get there. Contract and relax the perineum muscles. So what are the perineum muscles? Can you bring your mind around the perineum muscles? Now, you shouldn't be acting like you holding your pee, nor should you be acting like you trying to hold your number two. But you should really center and focus in that energy at the core of your being without thinking about your sexual organs, your reproductive organs, or anything of that nature. Isolate the perineum muscles. Isolate the gooch. We need you to sit in an erect meditative posture. So it's hard to isolate the gooch when you're laying down. Be sure to close your eyes. I'll do you one better. Wear the mask, wear the head, wear the eye blinders, and really relax your body. I started off, I had my shoulders all tight, stomach all. I don't know what I was doing to begin that meditation yesterday, but man, you got to relax, breathe in, and really contract when you breathe in. Breathe out and release the gooch. Do this for about a minute. So that would equate to about 15 to 30 times. Breathe in, breathe out. And that's one session. The second session is going to be at your discretion, but you're going to continue this breathing process, but we're going to do that lock through the breath. We're not going to release it until we move past our comfort zone. Once it hits that point, I don't like this, it doesn't feel right, you let it go slowly and relax. So we're doing this, we're developing this exercise. We're going to keep doing this process, and then we're going to bring our mind's eye to the center of our root chakra or our perineum muscle, and we are going to see that serpentine fire because we've already brought ourselves into a meditative zone without listening to binaural beats and doing all of this weird stuff without doing a cartwheel on one arm and, some of y'all be trying to do the advanced yoga pose before y'all do the basic downward dogs and all of that, so you might want to get into a point of activating this energy without trying to look special or trying to look cool. This is an internal process. Hey, y'all want to see my YouTube video of me raising my Kundalini energy? No, you don't want to do that because you need to be so focused within yourself that there is no external. You are the external, okay? And over time, and because this is a meditation, you focus up on this energy rising up your spine. But you can do that, or you can just sit and focus it on it, just kind of building up in that root chakra, in that perineum muscle. Because it's like if you light a match, you can't tell a flame, hey, don't go over there. That's my favorite table. Don't burn that. The fire going to do what it's going to want to do anyway. So in doing this actual work, you don't have to begin to minister to the Kundalini. Hey guys, I see. Hey, my baby daddy, I was thinking about you doing something. It's going to do what it want to do. So if this doesn't happen initially, I mean, for a majority, everybody had felt something, right? But you may not feel something because you can't block your eyes, and you, like me, the kids is in the background running, distracting you. Perfectly fine. But continue to practice. Listen to this a couple of times. Go through the meditation a couple of times. Don't give up on yourself, because we're not trying to get you to fall into us. We're trying to get you to fall into yourself. This is why the workbook is very important, because it gives you a time to read over it with your own mind. You remove my voice, and now you just reading it with your inner voice. What do y'all inner voice be sounding like? I know y'all probably got some weird inner narrators. Random, but we can talk about that in the question and answer. So perfecting the Mula Bandha is basically coming with daily practice. And perfecting the Mula Bandha is something that you can actually do that doesn't need to rush, because your Mula Bandha is activated and operating whether you know it or not. Your glandular system is doing this damn thing whether you bring your awareness to it or not. What we are trying to do is simply bring your awareness to your inner process so you can actually align with the systems that really have your back. Like your body really cares for you, so when you actually bring your awareness to your body above external stimuli, you actually align with the thing that really wants to promote your greatest gain, right? And I hope you guys can understand that. So I got 2 more slides, and then I'm gonna pass the mic to Prime Harmonic. And this slide is really about the necessary understanding of Kundalini. As we go through the Chakra Nova process, this is going to be the thing that this is going to separate the boys from the men, the girls from the women. Do you intake enough water? Kundalini is taken from the root word kunda. Now, kunda is translated into a bowl or water pot. Now, this bowl or water pot is the conjugal body, okay? And this is like a bowl of fire, but in order for it to not burn us up, we have to actually pour the water into it and allow the steam to rise up. And this allows for actual balance of this energy. If you do this Kundalini work and you drink pop, I lied to you this whole thing. I mean nothing of what I was saying. I was just playing. Don't do nothing of what I was talking about. And just cut off the video too, because it ain't going, like, this ain't for you. You got to be able to drink water, family. And not Dasani, not Evian, not water that you haven't done your due diligence on, that actually hydrates your body personally, hydrate your cells personally, gives you the energy to get up and get your thing. Because a lot of the water that you drink, if you don't do the due diligence, the purified waters, the mineral waters and things of that nature, you'll drink that water and become even more dehydrated because it's stripping your cells of its hydration. Because your cells is not going to allow water that doesn't have the right pH balance to even enter it. Your cells are alkaline. This is why alkaline water is better for you to drink in the space of hydrating your cells. But you have to do the due diligence. You have to do the research to understand what's the best water for you, for your cells. I would even imagine that different waters are better for different people. Okay, so this is why it's very important for you to do the research for yourself. And Prime has an excellent book that he will be referencing about water, and I really do appreciate you for that. Because what is the process that's holding us back for this process of Kundalini? It is dehydration. We don't drink enough water, and not only do you have hella health concerns, but your cells break down. And when it comes to this Kundalini work, it's going to increase more stress on you before you even enter this. So I can understand why I can actually be the bad guy, but don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't say, you have to drink water. Even though I'm saying it, I know people are not going to drink water because they don't like drinking water and they just don't agree with me. You don't really need water. I get it. But please, don't do this process and not drink water. Don't do this process and not hydrate your cells, because cellular hydration is the means for preparation of Kundalini. And hydration is more than just drinking water. You have to know your body. You have to know how much you sweat. You have to know the body that works for you. And it's really important because Kundalini is meditation. Kundalini is bliss. Kundalini is everything that you are. So this is the vibe. But this side of Kundalini is when you're doing this work and you ain't drinking no water. You're going to be looking like this. So you get to choose. Do you want to do the water way or do you want to do the dehydrated way? Because it's going to be one way or another. Okay. So, like I said, I'm not here for a long time. I'm only here for a good time. So we are going to go through my overview and the points that I have for activating this root chakra and activating your causal body. The reason why we say activating your causal body is because you, not Prime, not me, not Dark Serpent, not your mama, not nobody. You are the cause for everything in your life. And if you don't have the ability to take control of that ability of cause, you would be mad at the world too. I would be mad at the world. So this course is to bring your awareness to you being the fact that you are the cause of your life, not the effects. And then understand that the effects are a result of causes and not the other way around. I just seen an article after we got off this call about how the world leaders are just nowhere to be found. They like, where's the world leaders at? Because we are the world leaders. We just don't know that we are the world leaders. That's my personal opinion. You are free to argue and disagree with me on that. So if you are in a position that you actually do this actual work and you are saying, well, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, I want to do that. When it comes to this actual work, it might lead to a point of stagnation because your causes might be in conflict. I'll do you one better. Jada Pink can be like, I want to be with August Alsina, but I'm married. But I'm married. So what is that going to do? You just sit around the house all day and feel bad. Y'all know what it's like to feel bad when your causes is in conflict, when you want to do something and you can't do it. So the main point is stagnation. And when you actually deal with this work, I deal with it personally. I don't really want for anything specifically. However, I do the actual inner work, and I know I'm so used to getting what I want from doing the inner work that's how I actually operate. I don't pinpoint and say, oh, I want this and I want that. Because then if I don't get it, I'm disrupting my energy some way. So raising the Kundalini is an inner process that will guarantee you to have outer effects. You just have to actually work through the inner process, the same as breathing. Breathing will create life. You just have to breathe. Okay. And the problem with this is that we are intellectual beings. And our intellect is necessary, but our intellect is the carriage. Our intellect protects us. It allows us to steer and direct our energy. However, when we imagine that our intellect is the leader of this whole thing, the horses is looking at the carriage like, so you gonna carry us? You gonna carry us? Okay, we gonna see how this is going. It's not even designed for that. Our bodies is not even designed for that. So more than likely, you will stress yourself out, thinking your intellect will help you. Kundalini is much different from your intellect. It is the actual horses. Now the horses lead the carriage. You then begin to use your intellect for what it is used for, to steer and direct your life. But if you focus on your intellect as your saving grace, it's like people look at me like, oh, you do this, you do that. I don't do shit. I just know how to direct and steer my horses. Everything I do at a positive vibration, and I would have done for free anyways. But I use my intellect to help me cultivate all of the things that my horses already have in line for me. All of my abilities, all of my talents, I have to then organize them and distribute them and monetize them and so forth and so on. But it's not me. It's my horses. It's my causal body. So in order to take control of your life, you have to know how to steer your horses or understand your causal body. You'll have to go back to that original slide where I'm saying you are just not this human being that you've been told that you are. So that slide, that actual point might be a little bit confusing. So another point that I want to bring out, of course, we could talk all day about the root chakra, but one of these terms that I want to talk about is objectivity versus subjectivity. Objectivity is the mere fact of knowing that if you plant a corn seed into the ground, that a corn stalk will birth from that ground. That's objectivity. Subjectivity is, well, how would do that? How do you just plant a seed in the ground? I have to look at this point by point, detail by detail, because I don't believe that. You can't tell me that a little ass seed can produce a big ass corn stalk and you can have a whole farm of corn from little seeds. That's subjectivity. So when it gets into the details of, well, how you manifest, how you got 5 businesses, how you create 10 streams of passive income, man, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I have no idea. I've been doing inner work. I've been objective. I just said passive income. I just said multiple streams of income, and my spirit shows up with different things that I can begin to implement. But that's just the objective vote. I'm not trying to figure out how, why, and what. I just will look up a website and it'll be like, everything that you was just searching for, all you got to pay is $3.99 a month and we'll do everything that you was just thinking about for you. I'll be like, I'll sign up for that. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's not the idea of subjectivity that I'm getting to. If you're trying to pinpoint how you're going to do this, how you going to do that, now you in the realms of what? Intellect. Now you're trying to get your carriage to lead you. If I'm bored or if I'm stressed out, I'll put everything down. I gotta find my happy place. And that's just me personally. Don't focus on the details. Throughout this process, do you know the details of how a tree becomes a tree? How it goes from an acorn to an oak tree? No, you do not. Even if you did have the blueprint, could you recreate it? No, you cannot. So us as human beings in the spiritual work, we need not focus on the details. We need to be objective, God-like beings, because that's what we are. Focus on the end result, passive income, deep, passionate love, whatever the case may be. Be there through this work. And don't wish on things that you really don't want to experience. So hopefully you can be there personally and stop trying to pull other people into your spiritual modalities. Build up your spiritual energy. Another process, offer water to trees. This is another way of grounding and connecting to ancestors. And this is just the way to do it. And once again, I'm only speaking from experience. So when it comes to me and offer water to trees, if you talk to me in a reading, I probably recommended that you do this, because this is how we ground in application. This is how we offer to our ancestors in application, beyond conjecture, beyond things that don't really make sense. To ground, dig a hole close to the tree, maybe put your feet on some exposed roots when you are trying to meditate. What did I say? Kundalini is meditation. Okay? The raising of Kundalini is meditation. So it's like, well, how do I run a computer program without my computer being plugged up, hood? You can't. You're going to need to plug up first for you to activate your power. So if you are not grounded, how do you expect energy to rise up through your body? If you're not tapped into this earth energy, you can bear witness. You walk outside, you see the grass on your lawn. Where did that lawn grass come from? How did that grass grow? From the grass, from the dirt. Earth energy. So what is your grass blades doing? Your grass blades is grounding and it's allowing itself to grow. What is that? Meditation. It's also Kundalini. However, you might not want to meditate. You want to be on Facebook, you want to be on Instagram, do that type of stuff, but stay grounded. Keep your feet close to a tree, close to some roots. Stay outside, man. Get some of that prana. You know what I'm saying? But keep your feet to the plant, to the roots, until you begin to understand that you are not alone in this thing. You have an energy source in this thing, and it's really important that you access it. Bring your awareness to the root or to the soil while performing your root lock exercises. Okay? As you're doing these root lock exercises, it's good to bring your energy to your feet and be solely grounded and planted strictly on the feet. And when you are visualizing, don't imagine energy rising up. Bring your energy down to the core center of the earth. Just keep going deeper, deeper, deeper. With every root lock, go deeper into that soil. And then you know how you get them split ends? You got mad split ends of roots just everywhere. You down in China, Australia. You can bring your roots all over the planet. You can take over the world through your mind. But the problem is when you're trying to go up, you're trying to fly, it's a problem with that. It's like you can't jump up. Like you jump up, you get pulled down. And everybody's still trying to go up. Everybody trying to be ambitious. Everybody trying to be ascend. But have you ever descended into the depths of the soil? Have you ever traveled into the depths of the womb of the universe to get into your energy? And if you haven't, you might not know what I'm talking about, but this is why we're doing this class, to bring you into awareness of some things. So finally, we're going to discuss some supplements that I have taken, some experiences that I had with these supplements and allowing me to activate my root chakra. Now, all of these supplements actually came from the dream world, but then we did our cross references and came to find out that these energies actually do activate your chakras. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So chlorophyll, we want to take chlorophyll throughout this process because we need to get connected to nature and understand the processes of nature as a cosmic intelligence that we cannot rationalize with our conscious mind. Photosynthesis is that green energy, and we're going to really be prepared for our hot chakra. If we do not take the chlorophyll now and then we do the heart chakra work, we are going to be we are not going to be the flower that we were sent here to be. We're going to be lost on giving away energy because we won't be able to tap into our abundance. Where's our abundance at? Our abundance is in photosynthesis. A lot of people call it melanin, but that's a misnomer. It's actually photosynthesis. It's actually more of a green Osirian energy. Okay, chlorophyll, must have daily. I started off with the liquid, but I got 3 children, about to be 4 any day now, and they just love liquid and spilling it all over the place. And I don't know about you, but if you ever spilled chlorophyll, you know my pain. You know my pain. Cayenne pepper. I went to the Botanica and I was walking and I wasn't looking for supplements or nothing. I think I was going to get something for my wife, but then another thing happened. I was walking past the supplements and my root chakra started going crazy. I'm like, okay, what did you trying to tell me? It's like Kit from Knight Rider. Them red lights started going across. I'm like, what's going on, Kit? What's happening? It's like, you need to look. And I seen some cayenne pepper. So I was like, okay. I seen the 40,000 index and I seen the 100,000 index. I said, Spirit, what should I get? They said 40,000. I said, okay, guess which one I got, y'all? The 100,000. The 100,000. So you can do the research. The cayenne pepper activates your root chakra. I didn't know that until my root chakra told me that it activates your root chakra, but I then looked online and cross-referenced it. It does. It activates your blood. It cleanses out your blood. It cleanses out your system of its impurities. It helps you lose weight. It is that fire that you need to actually take. So I take cayenne pepper every day and I'm a better man for it. Okay, I'm a better human being with my cayenne pepper supplement. And I would suggest everybody to start with the 40,000. Don't be like me, because that 100,000 almost took me out the game. I was in the car. I had to turn around and go home and take another nap because it took it's no joke. No joke. So monatomic gold. A lot of people is interested in this. Is many different varieties, many different flavors, many different brands. I can only tell you about the one that I take, the one that had me cleaning off the steps every day, making sure that the house was clean, making sure that my kids were taken care of. Atomic Ormus, okay? I've never been responsible in my life. I can say that now. Until I started taking this Atomic Ormus, it has taught me how to be responsible, aware, and just a better human being. So, and this is actually activation of the causal body. And I know certain things, and I like to overlook certain things. As a man, you can't look at anything on the floor and just walk past it. As a man, you got to look at something on the floor and you got to pick that up. I wasn't always good at that. The monatomic gold helped me realize that I can't be blaming people when it's stuff that I need to clean up about myself. And finally, hydrated water. Now, hydrated water is not the little, those things at Kroger's that they be having, the waters and purified water, and this is from a public source and all of these types of weird stuff. Please don't get that water and do Kundalini because you might be way more thirstier. Those little bottles of water is tricky. Do your due diligence. Find you an electrolyte rich water. Find you an alkaline water. Get you varieties of different waters and do tests. How do I feel after I drink a whole day of this water? How do I feel after that water? Because I can't tell you which water is best for you. I can tell you what I do. My water is charged with intentions, with markings, with sigils. I don't play about my water. My water means a lot to me, and I prefer alkaline water. And these are the things that hydrate my cells. And if you want to take that cayenne pepper, don't be like me and turn it around on your way to work and realizing that you left the house unprepared, okay? Drink your water, okay? And really tap into a level of awakening and awareness that is internal, that you don't have to go to a middleman. You don't have to verify it with nobody. You just experience it in daily times every single day. Every single day, you realizing it. And hopefully these supplements can help you into that realization process. And once again, I'm only sharing what I've actually experienced. I'm not done. I'll be back during the question and answers. But at this particular point, I get so tired of my voice and I just be so ready to pass the mic. So who I'm gonna pass the mic to right now is uh, just a cosmic soul brother that just came in my life at the perfect time. Just a true service to the collective. I'm so honored and privileged. He is about to give you one of the most powerful meditations that you'll ever experience on the guided front. Mr. Prime Harmonic, how are you feeling? Are you ready, good sir?
Yes, I am ready. I did forget to say one thing. Excuse me, y'all. Malulani, I'm going on, so don't ring that bell, all right? Don't ring the bell. Thank you. That's my daughter.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Hood. I feel the same way about you, man. Like I said in the chat earlier, you don't know when I first came across your channel, I was like, man, you just didn't know. Like you said it about me. You ain't know you was gonna be my new best friend. But yeah. Talking about that water, right? I don't know if y'all can see that. So if y'all ever heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto, he wrote this book called The Hidden Messages in Water, and it became real popular because he talked about, making ice crystals out of water that had been shown different signs or written on with different things, and the water that had positive messages on it, formed these beautiful ice crystals, and the water that had negative messages on it, the ice crystals didn't form very well. Water is a living being. It just depends on how you view life, but water is definitely a living being, and it can be recorded into. So Brandy was asking me a question earlier about what water to get. So, you're hearing a lot of talk about it. If you're drinking water, like Hood said, do your experiments. Drink the water that makes you feel good. I don't recommend drinking tap water unless you live somewhere where it's coming from a fresh mountain stream. I don't recommend drinking tap water. If you do, I'll tell you the filter that I use in my house is the zero water filter, because it gets rid of that chlorine taste. And they ain't paying me, y'all, so I'm not tripping on that. But the zero water filter is expensive. But if you don't have that, at the very least, boil your water and then refrigerate it for a while, let it gas off, and then filter it as best you can. So, there's different things you can do, but ultimately it's going to come down to your personal taste. When you do get some water that you like, putting a little bit of lemon juice in it will give it a kick, give it an edge, help it kind of crystallize into what's called the fourth phase of water. And as Spirit Doula was saying last night, if you don't trust the water that you're getting, make your water come from fruit, like watermelon and oranges and apples. The more fruit you eat, that water that's in those cells of fruits and vegetables is very organized, and it's made for your cells. It's in a hexagonal type packing. The molecular structure stacks in a way that almost makes it crystalline. And it's the same way that the water is in your cells. When you drink the water you drink, your body takes the various elements of the water and makes its own molecular structured water. So there's another book I recommend, and this is called The Fourth Phase of Water by Dr. Gerald Pollack. He works at the University of Washington, and basically he picked up on some research that had long been shunned by the scientific community because sorry y'all, I got books sliding. Basically, there are people that didn't believe that water had memory. There was a scientist, and I'm not recalling his name easily, Jean Benesse. But anyway, he got heckled because some people disproved one of his experiments. And the guy that discovered the AIDS virus, Dr. Luc Montagnier, um, after he got the Nobel Peace Prize, he picked up that guy's work. Um, I'll send a link to Hood with the link for that video on YouTube. It's a documentary. But anyway, Dr. Luc Montagnier proved finally that water does have memory in fashion. And you're not going to hear about it for a while because it's going to put the pharmaceutical business out of business for, unless they catch up and keep up. Anyway, enough about water. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask me on that later. I am a scientist. I am an engineer. So, I don't take stuff willy-nilly. If somebody says, "Here, kid, drink this water, it'll make your kundalini rise," I'm like, "Yeah, right. What's in it? What's the chemical composition? What are the proportions of the ingredients?" I question everything. So I've dug a lot into water for the paramagnetic properties and all of that stuff. If y'all have questions, that's a separate show. All right. So as Hood, man, I swear I never heard the word gooch until yesterday. I didn't know it was called gooch. Between the anus and your sexual organs is that magical area called the gooch. But there's a Taoist exercise called the deer exercise where you actually do contract your anal muscles. So as Hood said, you have to realize it's going to take practice. Don't beat yourself up. Don't try to rush because it's not about hurting yourself. All of these contractions, you want to do them gently because you have a lot of layers of muscles in the pelvic floor. Okay. So this goes back again to, I think Brandy asked this question as well. I don't remember who asked it, sorry. But so for the women, the banda that Hood was talking about is higher up because it's kind of near the cervix. But for the meditation that we're about to do, I'm asking you to contract the perineum muscle, okay? That lock is an energy lock that you can use in these meditations. And I do recommend the exercises that he listed. But for this guided meditation that we're about to do, I want you to focus on the perineum muscle. So guys, that's pretty much between the anus and the scrotal sac. That muscle, you want to try and flex that gently. Don't strain it. Don't strain it because it's not fun for that to be sore. So basically you want to kind of just try and focus and try and lift it from all sides, not just the front or the back or the left or right, but just totally kind of lift that section of your body, that small little piece of your body, the gooch. I'm gonna have to see if my uncle knows that word. I know he knows that word. My uncle nasty. But anyway, so there's a book that I also recommend. This is an old book. It's called The Tao of Sexology by Dr. Stephen Chang. And in it, he goes over what's called the deer exercise. And that one is pretty much about pulling in, like having the feeling of pulling in the anus. Deer do this like on the normal every day. They're just walking around and, in military aviation, they call it the pucker effect. When pilots have close calls, they like to joke that they had to pull the seat off their ass. But that is called the deer exercise. And it's an exercise that you can practice for longevity. For the guys, it helps to massage the prostate. So it tends to stay relatively softer as we age. Sometimes they get hard. And that's when doctors start to worry and checking for prostate cancer and stuff like that. But this book, The Tao of Sexology, goes into how you can do your own prostate exam, and which I think is a man. I don't even know how many dudes on here. Oh, only, okay, a few of us. As a man, you need to do this on your own before you get to that age where you got to go to the doctors to do it. And this book is an excellent guide for that. It also talks about cleaning that area thoroughly. You want to clean at least, you always want to have that first inch clean because for the ladies and the men, if you have too much fecal matter in that first part, then it can lead to various diseases, whether they be cancers or deterioration of the skin or muscles in that area. So you want to make sure you keep it clean. Anyway, that's enough on the health and water. That's not what we're here for. I'm happy to entertain those questions and stuff in the Q&A. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to tell you about the guided meditation that we're about to do. And then we're going to get into it. So what I would like you to do is just relax a little bit, wiggle, shake your sillies out, get up if you have to. I'm going to show you one stretch. My camera's not in a very good position, so I'm going to be on my knees showing you this, but it's good to do it standing up. It's called spinal breathing. Montauk Chia has it in his books. You basically curl in while you exhale. And then as you inhale, open up your back. Exhale, curling in. And inhale to open your back. You might hear your spine crack a little bit. And that's usually okay. All right. As long as you're not hurting yourself. So please sit. And you want to sit so that your butt bone, your sitting bones are on the edge of the chair. So this would be the equivalent of guy in their scrotum sac over the edge of the chair, or women, your vulva will not be on the edge of the chair, it will be over the edge of the chair. So the only thing really on the edge or that you should feel pressure from is where your butt bones are sitting, okay? So just gently breathe in and out, relax your breathing, start to relax your body, wiggle your shoulders if you have to. I'm going to explain the guided meditation to you before we really get into it. But while I'm doing that, I want you to start getting comfortable in that seated position, relaxing your breath, relaxing your shoulders. So the guided meditation is going to start at the crown, and we're going to focus directly on the crown. And then we're going to move down to the midbrain, but instead of focusing directly on the midbrain or third eye, we're going to focus around it. We're going to focus on the forehead, in the back of the head, and then the left and right temples. We're surrounding that chakra because we're looking at the yin aspect of this chakra, the yang of the crown. We're going to be looking right at it or sensing right at it. We're going to surround the midbrain. Then we're going to go directly to the throat. Then we're going to surround the heart by looking at the lungs, the sternum, and the back behind the heart, but we're not going to look directly at the heart. Then we're going to go directly to the solar plexus or Manipura chakra. Basically, it's where your stomach and your lower intestines meet. It's where you digest information, where you get butterflies, your solar plexus. Then again, we're going to spread out and surround the sacral chakra. We're going to look at the left and right hip bones, the pubic bone, where your bony part of your skeleton meets your pubic area in the front of your body. That's the pubic bone. And we're going to look at the small of the back, the lower back, the sacrum begins at the small of your back. And that's where we're going to focus on when we get there. From there, after we surround the sacral chakra, we're going to focus in on the root chakra and do some breathing exercises and focusing of energy. So the reason we're going from the top down is so that you can feel what it feels like to regulate the energy of your spine, so that as you do start to work with your root chakra and raise your Kundalini energy, it won't go out of control on you. You will have a control mechanism to help it grow at a rate that is peaceful for you. Mental institutions are full of people that have exploded too early. The other thing we're going to do is, once we get down to the root chakra and energize it some, we're going to circulate that energy around the body so that you can see how to contain it and use it and hold on to it. Okay. Um, Again, for those of you that happen to see the Breathing 101 video, I, in my young life, did it wrong. I was in the mental hospital for a while. And, that was a life-changing experience for me. But I met teachers that helped me shape my energy, learn how to use my chi. And eventually I got my mental energy right and my chi right and everything. So um, there's no reason that people on this planet have to go through this the hard way. I feel blessed that I did so that I can tell you what not to do. Okay. But this is something that comes natural to children. As we become adults, we lose it. But, here we are here to reclaim it. All right. So if you're sitting, you know, feel free to wiggle your hips. Make sure you're sitting on your sit bones. Wiggle your back if you need to, your shoulders. You might want to rotate them back, rotate them forward. Allow your neck to drift to one side or the other slowly or back and forth, okay? And just relax. I'm going to take you through some small warm-up exercises. And after the warm-up exercises, we're going to go deeper into the guided meditation. So you can consider these warm-up exercises as part of the guided meditation if you want, all right? So imagine the normal ice cream cone shape, right? What you want to do is kind of sit with your spine up, your ribs, let them relax and flow in and out. Like when you inhale, your belly fills up, but then let your ribs come out a little bit. They want to spread like fish's gills. Then when you exhale, your ribs press in, and then your abdomen presses in, your belly button. When you exhale, should start making its way towards your spine gently. So every inhale and exhale, you want to try to use your diaphragm and let your ribs do their thing. Move your shoulders and arms if you need to clear way for your ribs to expand while you're breathing. Okay. And just breathe in and out gently. And we're going to go through some exercises. Try to make your out breath just a little bit longer than your in breath. Please breathe through your nose. If you're having difficulty breathing through both nostrils or one nostril, and you must breathe through your mouth, please put your tongue at the roof of your mouth as far back as you can. And when you inhale, you'll hear a sound like this. And when you exhale, just try and exhale with a gentle sound or like a hiss sound. But if you can breathe through your nose, if you can inhale through your nose, please inhale and exhale through your nose, okay? You don't want to breathe through your mouth if you can help it, because your mouth does not have the tubercles that are in your nasal passages to vortex and warm up and be well suited for respiration. Your throat is not for respiration. Your throat is for speaking and eating. So relax, keep breathing normally. So again, the ice cream cone. Somebody might have a name for this. This is just what I was calling it yesterday. You want to start kind of gently rotating your body so that your head is like tracing out a circle, but like where your perineum is or where the gooch is, that point stays relatively still. So you want to just kind of rotate in one direction, like you see people rocking sometimes when they ain't thinking, but keep it in a circle, small circle that's gentle. You don't want to be forcing it, okay? And after a few times of doing that, just kind of make a figure S or something, just gently go into rotating the other way. So 5 or 10 times or whatever makes you feel comfortable, rotate one way, still breathing in and out gently, not flexing the perineum at this time, just rotating the other way, okay? When the other, just gently kind of come back to your center. Make sure your feet are comfortable. Try and have them flat on the floor if you can, or flat wherever you are. Rotate your ankles, wiggle your feet. These are going to be your connection to ground. Even though you're not outside, having your skeletal structure sit properly with your feet flat will still provide you with a good grounding experience. So try and keep your feet flat. Keep your toes relaxed. You should be able to wiggle your toes right now. If you can't wiggle your toes, continue to try to do that to make your feet relaxed. You might feel where you have some tension. Go ahead and shake it out in your ankles. Rotate your hips, wiggle them if you have to, gyrate. Let your body feel relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, we're going to begin our guided meditation. I ask that you please close your eyes for this meditation. We're not going to be doing like hardcore visualizing here, okay? The root chakra is associated with the olfactory senses or the nose. Continue to breathe in and breathe out gently. As you breathe in, you should feel somewhat of a cool sensation coming into your upper nasal passages. This is where the prana is activated from the vortexing of the air. This is where you bring in prana into your body. This is one way, excuse me. Breathe in, breathe out gently. We're going to start at the crown chakra. So that is the top of the head. What I need you to do is focus on the top of the head, but not necessarily with your eyes. You keep breathing in with the nose and feel that cooling sensation reach up to your crown. So just breathe in and breathe out, allowing that cooling sensation to reach your crown. And just carry on like this for a few breaths. Eyes are closed and just relax. Continue to breathe. As you're breathing in and out, we're going to make sure that our tongue is at the roof of our mouth as comfortably as we can. If you can't get it that high, the tip of the tongue, if you can't get it that high, put it at the gum line behind your front top teeth. If you can push it or place it any further back comfortably, do so as long as it's comfortable and not a strain. Breathing in and breathing out. Continuing to let that cool feeling rise up to the crown. Now we're going to add in perineal muscle contractions. As you inhale, gently contract your perineum like you're pulling up on it. And as you exhale, gently release it. Don't make it like a, like a quick closing action. Just try to gently pull up as you inhale, gently release as you exhale. And as you inhale, you're having the feeling of the prana reaching your crown. We are still focusing on the crown. So carry on and inhale and exhale for a few times, still focusing on the crown. As you inhale, slightly contracting the perineum. As you exhale, releasing the perineum. Focusing on the crown. If you start to feel very dizzy, please stop the contraction of the perineum on the inhale and just exhale and relax. Go back to your natural state of breathing. If it's not too much for you, please do carry on. If at any time your body feels stiff or uncomfortable, please go ahead and wiggle as you have to. Okay, this is not an exercise to see how still you can make your body, but do try to keep it relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. So from the crown, we're now going to move down to the third eye, back of the head, and we're going to do the left and right temples in a certain order. Right now, breathing in and focused on the crown. Breathing out. Breathing in, contracting the perineum gently. Breathing out. Now we're going to focus on the third eye between the eyebrows. Between the eyebrows, breathing in and breathing out. Focusing gently on inhaling and contracting the perineum as you inhale. Releasing gently as you exhale. Stay focused on the third eye for a while. If the energy starts to become too dense for you, release the contraction and exhale. From the front of the third eye where we are now, we're now going to focus on the base of the skull, where your neck meets the base of your skull. Breathe in, feeling the air come through your nasal passages, and imagine it going to the base of your skull. Breathe out. Breathe in, staying at the base of the skull. Breathe out. If you have to swallow saliva during this exercise, wait until you finish exhaling. At the bottom of your exhale, swallow the saliva. This is because as we do these exercises, your saliva will become energized, and we do not want the energy kind of getting stuck in the upper chakras. That is why people usually swallow after a complete exhale, so that the energy goes down to the root. Breathe in, breathe out, still focusing on the base of the skull. We are now going to move to the temples. If you are right-handed, please focus on your left temple. If you are left-handed, please focus on your right temple. The temple is behind the eye and a little bit in front of and above the ear. Breathe in and imagine your cool prana breath going to that area. Breathe out. As you inhale, remember to keep the tongue at the roof of the mouth gently while contracting the perineum. As you exhale, remember to release the perineum. Focusing on the non-dominant side temple. Breathe in, breathe out. You may feel a cool or warm sensation on one side of your body versus the other. As long as it is not uncomfortable to you, please proceed. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember to contract the perineum gently on the inhale. As you exhale, release gently. Staying with the non-dominant side of the temple. Breathing in, breathing out. Relax the shoulders. If you have to wiggle your back a little bit to stay feeling comfortable, please do so. We're now going to move to the dominant side temple. If you are right-handed, you'll be focusing on your right temple now. If you are left-handed, you'll be focusing on your left temple. Feel the air and the prana coming through your nasal passages and focusing on the dominant side temple. As you inhale, remember to contract the perineum lightly. As you exhale, remember to release it. You may feel your legs feeling a bit tingly. Feel free to move your knees or your feet as you need to stay comfortable, but keep your focus on the temple as you inhale and exhale. Remember to contract the perineum lightly and release lightly. From here, we are going to move to the throat chakra. Focus your attention on the throat chakra as you inhale through your nose. Feel the cool air going down your throat. This should be easier to feel. Remember, you do not have to visualize hard. This is a nose exercise. You are smelling the energy. You are feeling the olfactory senses. Invite prana into your body and you are directing it. Breathe out. We are focusing on the throat chakra. In the middle, a bit forward of your neck. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in, do remember to slightly contract the perineum muscle. As you breathe out, release it slowly. Again, if you have to swallow saliva, try to wait until you have exhaled completely. If you can't, don't worry, it's okay. But if you can wait until you have exhaled completely, please do so. Breathe in, breathe out. As you're here at the throat chakra, you may feel like you need to move your shoulders or your neck. Please do so to make it feel comfortable. This is about regulating and controlling, yet also relaxing your energy passages. Breathe in, breathe out, focusing on the throat chakra. Stay focused on the throat chakra as I explain what we're about to do next. Breathe in, breathe out, remembering to contract and release the perineum. Staying focused on the throat chakra for now. Next, we will be moving to the heart area, but instead of focusing directly on the heart, we will move in front of it, behind it, and on either side of it. Continue to breathe in and out, focusing on the throat chakra. Breathe in, breathe out. We are now going to focus on the breastplate, the sternum. As you inhale, feel the air from your nostrils moving to your heart chakra or your heart where the sternum is. Breathe in, breathe out. Carry on with doing this, remembering to contract the perineum gently. Breathe in, breathe out. You might feel a warm sensation or tightening or relaxation. As long as it is not uncomfortable, please proceed. If it becomes uncomfortable, again, release the perineum, let your feet relax, and exhale fully into the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Now that we are at the heart chakra level, as we start to exhale, it's okay for you to focus down towards your feet. We will do this even more as we get to the solar plexus. But for now, if you are comfortable still focusing on the heart in the front at the sternum, please do so. The tongue should be at the roof of the mouth gently. The perineum is being contracted with each inhale gently, and with each exhale released. Now we are going to move to the spine behind the heart. Focus your attention on the spine behind the heart. As you inhale, allow the air to come up into your nasal passages and reach down behind your spine to the heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you inhale, remember to slightly contract the perineum. Breathe out. Allow the air to rise in the nostrils and then go down to meet the heart area. Continue this for a few more breaths. If you feel you need to flex your chest or move your back slightly, please do so. You're allowing the energy to pass. You do not want to try to block it. Wiggle slightly if you must. Breathe in, breathe out. If you are right-handed, we are now going to focus on the right lung. If you are left-handed, we are going to focus on the left lung. Breathe in. Let the air come up your nostrils and feel it go into the dominant lung. Breathe out. You may feel a cool or warm sensation on the side that you're focusing on. Again, as long as it is not uncomfortable, please proceed. Breathe in. Breathe out. You may feel expansion on the side you're focusing on. It's because you're paying attention to that side. Your energy tends to flow where your attention goes. And as long as it is uncomfortable, please proceed. What we're doing is surrounding the heart chakra like a hug. Breathe in, breathe out. A few more breaths, and then we will focus on the non-dominant side lung. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember to contract the perineum gently on the inhale and release gently on the exhale. Now let us move to the non-dominant side lung. If you are left-handed, you'll be focused on the right lung. If you are right-handed, you will be focused on your left lung. Breathe in, allowing the air to rise into your head. Feel the coolness of it and feel it reach down to that non-dominant side lung. Breathe out. If at any time you begin to feel dizzy or lightheaded, relax your contractions a little bit. Continue to breathe in and out. Keep the tongue connected to the roof of the mouth. This will help dissipate the energy. Allow the energy to move down to where you are focusing. If your neck is tight, if your shoulders are tight, and you feel the energy is stopping there after you breathe in, breathe out and let your neck move so that the energy can pass down to that non-dominant side lung. Breathe in, breathe out. We are now going to focus on the solar plexus, basically around your stomach area, close to your small intestines, where you get the butterflies. As you inhale, let the air come up your nostrils and feel that cool air and energy move down to your solar plexus area in the middle of your body, near your lower stomach, around your small intestines. Breathe in, breathe out gently. If you can make your out breath a little bit longer than your in breath, comfortably, please do so. Breathe in, breathe out. You may start to feel sensations in your lower body. If you need to wiggle your hips or move your knees or feet, please do so. We are focusing energy and packing it downward into the body. Allow your body to move gently if it needs to. Breathe in, breathe out. We are now focusing on the solar plexus or Manipura chakra. This is where we assimilate information. This digest information. This is where we make sense of things. The enteric nervous system is here. This is where we begin our relaxation process. This is the opposite of butterflies. We understand that we are this energy body. Breathe in, breathe out gently, focusing on the solar plexus. Inhale, feel the cool air going through the nasal passages and feel that energy move to your solar plexus. Exhale. If you have to move your back slightly, please do so. If you need to straighten up, do so. As long as you are comfortable, please proceed. Remembering to contract the perineum slightly during each inhale. Focusing on the solar plexus. You should begin to feel more and more relaxed in the solar plexus area. If you have to rotate your spine in that area to allow the energy to flow, please do so. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you breathe out from here in, please allow your breath out to focus towards your feet, out of your feet, through the floor to the center of the earth. As you breathe in, the cool air is coming up through your nostrils. We're going to bring it to our concentration point, and then we're going to exhale out into the ground. Breathe out. We are still on the solar plexus. The Manipura chakra. lower intestines. Breathe in, breathe out. We are now going to move to the sacral chakra area. The front of this area is the hard pubic bone. The rear of this area is the sacral bone at the small of the back. The left and right are where your hip bones come out at your sides. Focusing on the solar plexus, breathe in, breathe out. We're now going to focus on the pubic bone area. Inhaling through the nose, feel the cool air come up through your nostrils, and allow that energy to sink down to the pubic bone area in the front of the body. Breathe in and out gently, still remembering to flex the perineum muscle gently. This area for some might be associated with trauma. It might be associated with great joy. Whichever it is, this area tends to have magnified energy. So you may feel sensations as we focus on this area. Breathe in and out gently. Allow the sensations as long as they are comfortable to you. Breathe out. Try to relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you focus on this pubic bone area, you may need to rock your hips a bit or move around in order to feel comfortable. This is the time to do so that you can allow the energy to clear out and enhance that area. We are clearing out negative energy and enhancing positive energy, or clearing out trauma and enhancing joy. We will move to the rear of the sacral area at the small of the back. Inhale gently, nostrils, and feel it going down to the lower back. Breathe out. Continue to breathe in and out, focusing on the small of your back. This is right near where your butt cheeks separate, the crack. It should feel somewhat comfortable when you focus on this area, more bone. Breathe in, breathe out. Go ahead and relax and rock your hips if you have to. All of the expansive energy that was at the pubic bone should feel more comfortable as you focus on the small of your back. In Taoism, this is a way to transit the energy to make it easier for men to perform seminal restriction. For women, it's also a good way to cultivate sexual energy. As your energy builds up at the front pubic area, if you need to relax, you can focus on the small of your back. Breathe in, breathe out, gently flexing the perineum muscle. As you breathe out, try to let your air flow down your legs and out to the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. We are now going to focus on the dominant side hip bone. If you are right-handed, please focus on your right hip. If you are left-handed, please focus on the left hip. Breathe in, breathe out. These two areas deal with our locomotion. Whenever we've been stopped from moving, there might be tightness here. Go ahead and allow yourself to be comfortable. Rock if you have to, but keep your mind on that dominant hip bone. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe out, allow the air to move down your legs through the feet. If you've been forgetting to do so, don't worry. Keep up on the next breath. Don't beat yourself up if you're not remembering each step. This takes practice. As you remember, perform each step. Breathe in, breathe out, allowing the air to go down the legs. and out of the feet into the floor. Please make sure your feet are flat, your toes are relaxed. Move them if you have to. Breathe in, breathe out. With every inhale, flexing the perineum muscle gently. With every exhale, releasing it gently. We are now going to focus on the non-dominant hip side. Breathe in, allowing the air to rise up in the nasal passages and allowing the energy to move to the non-dominant hip side down your body to there. Breathe out. Continue to breathe in and out gently. You may feel yourself rocking. You may feel heat or cold. Again, as long as the energy is not overwhelming, please do continue. If it is overwhelming for you, do not do the contractions of the perineum, but rather allow your breath to relax and just breathe out, allowing the energy to go down the legs, down through the feet to the center of the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. We are about to move to the root chakra, but not yet, please. Stay focused on the non-dominant hip bone. As we move to the root chakra, please be mindful that as we breathe in, we are going to continue to do our breathing out through the legs. This is very important to breathe out to the earth. We are establishing our roots. We are establishing our causal body, rooting it into earth energy. Breathe in, breathe out. We will now focus on the perineum area, the base of the spine, your tailbone. Do not have to find a specific point. Just in general, be in this area. Sense this area. Breathe in with your nose, feeling the cool air and energy go down to the root chakra as you remember to flex. If you feel comfortable, keeping the perineum contracted through your inhalation and your exhalation, please feel free to do so. Breathe in, breathe out. We are focusing on our root chakra. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, allow the energy to go down your legs. You might feel your legs feeling a bit jumpy or jittery. That is okay. As long as the sensation is not uncomfortable, please do continue. If you fall asleep, it is okay. That means you were comfortable. Breathe in, breathe out, and just relax. Stay focused on the root chakra. Breathe out. Now, we are going to include the legs. As you breathe in, imagine, in addition to the energy coming in through your nasal passages, that your legs are like sponges, specifically the bones. We're going to be absorbing energy into our leg and feet bones as we inhale. And as we exhale, let the energy flow out through them. Breathe in, breathe out. Focusing on the root chakra, remembering to flex the perineum gently. Breathe in, allowing energy to come in through the legs. Breathe out, allowing energy to exit. Keeping the breath consistent, breathe comfortably. You may feel you need to, please do so. Breathe in, breathe out. If your legs are feeling tingly or you're feeling sensations, it is normal. We are moving energy through these routes that normally don't get exercised this way. As long as you are comfortable, please proceed. Breathe in, energy coming in the legs. Breathe out, energy exiting the legs, down through the feet into the earth. Now, we're going to pull back from concentrating on the legs and go back to the root chakra, just the perineum area. If you need to move around to be comfortable, please do so. Breathe in, just focusing on the root chakra. Breathe out. As you breathe in, feel the cool air from your nostrils. Feel that energy make its way down the center of your body to your root chakra. Breathe out. Allow the energy to exit your body through your legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, we're not pulsating energy in the legs now. We're just focusing on the root chakra. Continue to do this as I explain what we're going to do next. We are now going to circulate the energy in our bodies as opposed to pushing it out through the legs. Breathe in and breathe out gently, staying focused on the root chakra as I explain. As you breathe in, we're going to breathe in through our nostrils and feel the energy move down to the root chakra. As you breathe out, you're going to feel the energy circulate around your body. The first way we're going to do it is breathing in through the nostril down to the root chakra and allowing the energy to go up the front of the body, around the back of the head, and down the spine back to the root chakra. So breathe in, bringing energy up the nostrils and down to the root chakra. As you're breathing out, gently circulate the energy up the front of the body and down the back of the spine, back to the root chakra, and just relax. Breathe in, breathe out. A few more times. You're going to inhale, feel the energy go down to the root chakra from the center of the body. As you exhale, allow the energy to go up the front of the body and down the back of the spine. This is a yin energy style of breathing. It is the way that women typically circulate energy in their body. Continue to breathe. We are next going into a yang style energy circulation, which is the way men tend to circulate the energy in their body. It is okay to circulate the energy either way that you feel comfortable. Just understand that this is your energy channel and you use it as you see fit. As you feel comfortable, perform these exercises. If you do not, just relax and breathe. We're going to switch rotations. Breathe in through the nose. Allow the energy to go down to the root chakra. As you breathe out, you allow the energy to go up the spine, around the top of the head and down the front of the body, back to the root chakra. Breathe in, allowing the energy to go to the root chakra. And breathe out, allowing it to circulate around the back of the spine, upward, over your head and down the front of your body. Perform this a few more times, and then we're going to refocus on the root chakra. Breathe in, breathe out. This energy channel around the front of the body and back of the body is called the microcosmic orbit in Taoist practices. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're just going to focus on the root chakra. As you breathe in, feel the air come through your nasal passages, cooling and going down to your root chakra. And just hold it there. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, remembering to flex the perineum, breathe in, breathe out. If your body is feeling like it needs to move or wiggle or have a serpentine motion, please allow it to do so. Breathe in, breathe out, focusing on the root chakra. Now we're going to feel like we are lifting the energy from the root chakra slightly into the solar plexus. As you breathe in, allow the energy to go to your root chakra and then feel it move up into your digestive system, to your solar plexus, so that you can absorb that energy. Breathe in, down to the root chakra. Breathe out and allow some of it to float up. Breathe in. Breathe out, allowing some of it to float into the intestines, into the solar plexus. As you feel the energy there, feel yourself play with it. Feel yourself relax into it. This is where you store metaphysical energy in the solar plexus area. Breathe in, breathe out. This should bring somewhat of a calming effect. If it hasn't, please remember to stop the contractions, and that will help you to calm down. We are going to start towards the end of the meditation, but keep your eyes closed, keep your body relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. Focusing on the root chakra now, without the solar plexus. Just relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Slightly move your head up and down like you're nodding yes. Breathe in, breathe out. This activates the cranial pump of the cranial sacral sac, which contains your brain and spine. The bottom of the cranial sacral sac ends in the sacrum area where we are performing these Kundalini exercises. There is a pump there as well. As you move your pelvis forward and backwards, that pump activates. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in, focusing on these two areas, you may feel a tightening in your head. As you breathe out, it may feel like it's a relaxing. This means that your cranial sacral fluid is flowing well. It's okay. If you don't feel it, continue your practice. Eventually you will. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow your body to relax. Allow your body to relax. Relax your shoulders. Relax your ribs. As you allow your body to relax downward, keep the contractions and the focus on the root. Slowly start to bring your energy and your attention back to where you are. Please feel free to keep your eyes closed for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. As you begin to awaken, as you begin to bring your energy back, you may focus on your other areas like your throat chakra or your heart to surround it with some of the energy that you just generated through this practice. Breathe in, breathe out. Start to bring your body back to an equilibrium state. Move around if you have to. If you feel comfortable opening your eyes, you may open your eyes, but try to stay relaxed. We are coming out of the guided meditation. There is no need to jump up. Please relax. Wiggle your shoulders, twist your body if you need to. Move your head up and down. Move your knees, your feet. Allow your body to reactivate. Breathe in, breathe out. As you start to bring your awareness back, allow your body to stay in a comfortable position where your spine is up. Breathe in, breathe out. Please go ahead and sit back in your chair so that you can relax your sitting bones, or sit back on your bed wherever you were. Begin to bring yourself into a more relaxed position. But as you do, please remember to move your body a little bit. Allow the energy to move. That is the serpentine energy. That is that gyration energy that is coming from the root chakra. Breathe in, breathe out. Everybody should be at a point where we can open eyes and check in. So I am very interested in making sure that everybody is still with us. So if you are still here, please bring your consciousness back to your room. Please begin to open your eyes and move your body. Just relax.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Back.
um, so manifest this. I don't see. Oh, there you are. Yeah. So if you fell asleep, that's okay. Okay. This energy, this is what children have naturally. That's why babies are asleep all the time. Okay. Because they're zoning out, right? This is a comfort thing. This is your natural state of being.
Meditation,
So
bliss.
right, right. So don't feel no ways about falling asleep. Yeah, something happened. You got comfortable. That's a blessing, right? You should do that every daggone night.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being comfortable and being at peace.
Yeah, so definitely hit it on the replay. There's nothing wrong with moving your energy down and then kind of losing track of where you were, right? What you don't want to be doing is moving the other way and losing track of where you are. And that's what people tend to do sometimes, like people that like to get high on various substances. And don't get me wrong, I used to smoke some weed, and when I retire, I'm gonna have a hell of a party. But people that like to get high, we always think of it as a head. You got to think of it as a root chakra trip. Okay, it's not a head trip. So when you activate that kundalini energy, you can go anywhere you want to. So go ahead and hit the replay whenever you're ready and just follow through. I know Hood's going to send out the MP3, um, you know, and just relax through it. And if you fall asleep again, I thank you for the compliment. So, you know, that's all right. That's all right, manifesting. Shoot. But how do you feel? Are you feeling like, are you lightheaded or anything? Are you comfortable? How's your energy?
And guys, this is the question and answer period. So once you kind of see like
Good,
a
good.
point of like pausing, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me or Prime a question. That's what this time is really reserved for. So we want to thank everybody's participation and, for showing up. And if you got things to do, we understand that. But if you want
Yeah,
to stick around and ask some questions, that's what we're here for.
yeah, yeah. So again, this is not one of those, like you hear all these stories about Kundalini rising and people going all buck wild in the forest, right? Like I said, I've been through doing this the wrong way to learn enough to know that I don't need it. I don't need to do it that way, right? I've had masters in my life that have shown me that I can allow my energy to flow freely and peacefully, okay? And the method that I showed you started from the top so that you can learn what it's like to exercise your braking system. Like you don't get in the car and drive around if the brakes don't work. You want to make sure that you can stop it. And this is how you stop it. You stop it from the top down. When you see martial artists doing their thing and then they go, oh, right? That's what they're doing. They're washing that energy down from the crown to the root. Okay. Um, so yeah, I don't know if y'all have any questions. I'm here. First of all, is everybody okay?
Yeah, y'all
Is
can
anybody
talk.
not okay? Yeah, is
This is a
anybody not okay?
quieter, but
Yeah, yeah, Antoinette.
Antoinette, thank you. Thank you, Hood Mystic and Prime Harmonic, for bringing us together today. My question could be addressed to both of you. I really invite both of you to speak from your deep wisdom. My own wisdom has given me a lot of answers to this question, but today's meditation particularly has advanced my interaction with my energy
Inner
center.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been practicing energy center opening and have had some Kundalini experiences, but it has to be more grounded, and that's why I was magnetized towards Hood Mystic's
Hmm.
invitation to this because of the way he presents. And then I heard Sir Prime Harmonic yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I was like, I receive information vibrationally, and the tonality of your vibration. And then when you went into Zen, I'm like, that's why, because that's more Taoism is more my walk. So so here's the question. The question comes from maybe other brothers and sisters here. This is going to be their question possibly as well. If our body temple has not only experienced trauma from psychological drama that was acting out, and mine is in the 5th chakra from tracheotomy that was necessary to keep me alive, and then deep wounds in the sacral where they actually had to remove bone, which some of the recent yoga therapy work I've been doing, I burst into huge breakthroughs and tear release because I'd recognized that they'd actually taken some of my coccyx, or some of the actual bone. So my question to you, gentlemen, is what is that lighting up inside of you, and spirit speaking to you about how we approach these meditations and allow this full opening, this further opening, this full opening of our all of our bodies, to be completely here now, doing what we came here to be and do. Thank you.
Hood, do you mind if I start on this one?
Not at all.
All right. So Antoinette, to me, it's like, and please, when I finish talking, if I haven't answered your question, don't be shy to let me know. All right. But to me, it's sounding like the basis of your question is, as we come onto this planet and we go through various life experiences, we tend to have various traumas or experiences that cause our energy to get stuck in certain patterns. And if they get stuck and then say some piece of us is removed or damaged, then, how do we effectively repair ourselves in a gentle way? So I say to you this, and it's something that is common among a lot of the good metaphysicians today, like Deepak Chopra. I'm sorry, can you hear me okay? Okay. So like Deepak Chopra has said it, Sadhguru has said it. Every molecule, every cell in your body is like a mini you. And every part of you is working towards your well-being and your healing. And the only way it doesn't is if, you don't allow it, right? Because your body's automatic mode is to always repair itself, to always try and get better, to always try and rebuild, right? So what happens with the energy, for example, for me, in 93, I fell down on my side over a porcelain tub and, damaged my rib and part of my spinal column, right? So for a long time, I couldn't really move well. But many years after that, I was still carrying the muscle motion of that movement, even though I didn't have to. And I didn't find that out until I was in the presence of a good healer. And she was like, what is this right here? And I'm like, it's muscle. Well, why does it feel like bone? Because I had been carrying that for all this time. So the thing about the gentle awakening, or like what we did here with the gentle energy, is your body is pretty amazing. If you break a bone and the bone doesn't heal quite the right way, your body will still find a way to circulate the energy that it has to around that situation. And what you want to do is allow it to do it its way. Because the one thing I've found in my life is that I am not as smart as my inner physician. My inner physician has got it going on. And it's me that has to step out of the way sometimes, because I want it to feel a certain way. I want it to look a certain way. And when I learned to stop doing that, and I'm to this day, every once in a while I do, right? But but for the most part, I've learned to try to step out of the way. It's hard, but the only way to learn to step out of that way is to do that gentle energy cultivation. When you do that gentle energy cultivation, then you learn your own flow and you learn your inner physician's flow, and you start to you dance with it. You know what I mean? That's the serpentine, right? It becomes into your environment. It leaves your inner and starts to create and manipulate your outer. So I hope that.
And I'll reflect back to you what I heard you say, and is a lot of what Spirit has told me, but to hear it from a human flesh and blood person is so it
I
just
feel
takes
you. I feel
goes
you.
to a
Yeah.
new
That's
level.
why I be talking to Hood all the time.
We got to do it, right? So really what I can walk away with, and thank you so much for this, and thank you so much that we get these recordings, Hood, because I'm going to be using this meditation today. I've been practicing Dr. Joe Dispenza's
Yeah.
energy center, and I definitely live in the quantum
Yeah.
realm. And what you said, what I really wrote down is allow it to do it its way. And that's exactly because I'm in the middle of a right arm sports healing.
Yeah.
And I've been coming at it from a lot of different modalities. And I
Yeah.
keep coming back to every time you go to sleep, Antoinette, it's gone. You know, but I already talked about that. But then you wake up and your mind brings it back.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
so thank you, gentlemen. Gentle energy cultivation.
Yeah, Prime said it best.
Yes. Thank you, sirs. Thank you.
Thank you.
One, two, one,
Shot, is that how you
one,
pronounce
two,
your
two.
name? Shot? Oh, sorry. What was you? Constant, you were saying something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little choppy, but carry
Oh,
on.
cool. Okay. Okay. So one of the questions was, does this, as far as the process with the Kundalini, is it in any way associated with? At one point years ago, they would speak of spontaneous human combustion. Was that something that maybe they were trying to uh, scare us or kind of push us away from learning about this type of process for ourselves?
I would say so. Bobby Hemmett has a wonderful story about his mother. Well, not a one. That's a
Well, yeah,
weird
yeah.
way of word. That's a way of wording it. But yeah,
An
spontaneous
intense story.
combustion. Yeah, very intense story. Spontaneous combustion is actually Kundalini, and more or less, if you actually burning yourself to a crisp, could be more of a symbol of you draining yourself of energy, and just being strictly centered in the fire aspect without the water aspect, which would create the steam and the overall motion that you need to actually exist with Kundalini and life at the same time. So the hydration is a very important process to it, so you don't deal with that spontaneous combustion, because you know
It could happen.
it feels like spontaneous combustion right now. It's really times where I'm outside and it's hot and people's like, it's hot. I can feel the chill in the air and I can feel the warmth within my body, and it's scary. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, so it's definitely a fire aspect, spontaneous combustion aspect, but this is why we introduced the water to level that energy out. But go ahead, Prime.
That's how the Tibetan monks meditate in the Himalayas, or other places where they go up in the mountains, and they have these techniques for warming the body where they've gotten so good at it, they could go out into the cold and you could put a wet blanket on them and see the steam rising from it. That's how tight they are with it. But it's controlled, right? You want to control it so that you do not spontaneously combust. And that's where hydration plays the big
Definitely. Another question was, obviously, I would think this would also be associated with helping you in developing and becoming a Reiki master if you start at this level, right?
I missed part of that.
uh, by starting at this level and working on your own Kundalini, is that helpful in working towards developing, becoming a Reiki master and being able to
Hell
help
100%.
yeah.
other people?
Hell yeah.
100%.
Hell yeah.
Like energy work, tarot readings, astrology, the occult sciences for which a person is like really hustling to learn these things. Activating your kundalini, you would just have a knowing sense, and then you trying to learn out. Like at this particular point with astrology, I'm teaching astrology, but I'm also learning astrology because I'm trying to figure out how I even know it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes we know things and we don't know how we know it. Like you
Yeah.
might have a child that's really good at
Mhm.
basketball and the other child is really good at music. So we have these natural abilities. Kundalini is going to accentuate your natural abilities. So if Reiki Master is one of those things that you are naturally doing or have a focus to, the Kundalini just gives you that confidence to, like when you Michael Jordan walking into the basketball arena, you about to show out. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I'm doing a reading, I know it's gonna be good. I don't know how it's gonna be good. I just know that it's gonna be good. I know that I'm gonna affect this person in a positive way because I've been actually doing the energy work that, you can just kind of feel it. It's tangible, but it's subtle. So energy work is perfect for raising a kundalini. Thanks for that question.
So, and also, uh, as Deepak Chopra likes to say, um, if you took the actual matter that we're made of, right, um, is tiny. Uh, you could take if you could take out all of the space, because we're 99.99% space, right? If you could take all of the space out of every human's molecule, all of our, atoms and whatnot, all of our electrons and protons and all of that would fill up the size of a sugar cube. It'd be a very heavy sugar cube, but that's all it is, right? We are mostly space. That of you, which is moving your matter, is more you than the matter is, right? The first step in realizing that you are the mover of this facade is feeling your causal body. The first or the basic way to do that is through the root chakra. People that activate their other chakras first tend to eventually, one of these days, have to come back to the root. There's no way you can be successful in psychic work, be it Reiki, tarot, astrology, whatever endeavor. If you're dealing with any kind of work where you have to be intuitive, there is no way you ain't going to face that root chakra one day. Enter Bruce Lee, enter the dragon, right? You ain't doing it if you ain't doing it. You know what I mean?
And what tends to happen is that you pick up on other people's energy and you either go crazy, you get hella confused, you need to you be drained. Like, energy work without grounding leads to most people saying, well, I can only read for so many times. I can
Yeah.
only do so much stuff and
Yeah.
then I'm just drained because it looks good on the surface. Reiki healer, astrologer, da 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 da. When
Yes.
you doing this stuff face to face and people are actually pulling on your energy and
Right.
you're giving it to them and you
Right.
have no source that's unlimited, you can feel a pull and a drain. So Reiki work without grounding, spiritual work without grounding, without chakra work, it will eventually lead you into a place where you like, all right, I got to stop this.
Yep.
So in grounding in the root chakra is one of the most efficient ways to allow you to do whatever it is you came to do without a person like draining you, because you can give energy freely because you know where your energy comes from, and
Yep.
that's from the core of the earth. But just like a tree, it's very simple, but just wrap your head around it for long enough and it'll begin to make sense.
Yeah. Sashat, I'll just recommend for you. I'm glad you're feeling better. I had the way that I healed through my rib injury, because I carried a lot of tension on that side for years. I just kept at it, and so if this guided meditation helped you relax that tension even a little bit, I would say do it again, and eventually you might find the center of that tension. Go ahead and work with it. And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the name right, Sashat. Yeah. So,
do we have any additional questions? Just unmute yourself and, ask away.
Hi, my name is Lauren.
peace, Lauren.
For me, the exercise was very orgasmic, and I
Right.
was wondering, is that normal or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the same way for me, and just my overall disposition. It's like a real snake type of energy. And the snake, it could be menstruation, it could be sex, it could be childbirth, it could be wisdom. It's multifaceted, but what we're referencing is occult gifts. So I would take that orgasmic energy and begin to visualize and try to, utilize it for something that could be tangible, because that's what it's actually given for.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, do what you want to do, but the more indication would be, in normal, outside of the esoteric circle, it's like, I'm horny, let me go have sex with somebody. But within the esoteric circle, it's like, I have this spiritual sexual energy that is rising.
Right.
Let me now begin to work with it, do creative endeavors, see, how people respond to me, how I respond to people. And it's really a time to kind of learn yourself through your energy. So this is why we do the meditation, because you could be walking down the street and be like, damn, you can have this feeling and be like, well, let me call Jermaine's ass over here because I have this particular feeling. But through a spiritual modality, you can have that same feeling and realize, okay, now it's time to do something different. And I'm not speaking to you personally or being disrespectful. I'm just saying in general, we have these feelings as human beings that we don't know how to process. But through meditation, you can create those same feelings to actually show you a different application of what you can actually do with this energy outside of the normalcy. Does that make sense?
Yes, I completely understand. Yeah.
And this energy, like if you read any of the Taoist books, like I love Montauk Chia's books, but personally, I didn't have the physical teacher until I met Sunyata Saraswati. And when I did, I learned how to rotate that energy within me. So when you get that feeling and the orgasmic energy comes, it's basically your energy rising through the channels of your body. And one of the things that you can do is to use that for healing. Like as it's rising through you and you circulate it around you, whether you circulate it forward or backwards, if you have any place in your body where you're feeling like tension or hurt or whatever, use it like Play-Doh, mold it, move it. You know what I mean? It's yours.
Okay.
It's inside of you. Do with it as you see fit. And like Hood said, if you want to bring it outside of you, then you use it to reinforce your creative endeavors. If you have something that you want to do, then just focus a little bit on what you're doing. Be clear about it, though. Be very clear, because if you bring this energy outside of you, so-called outside of you, that's a whole nother discussion. But if you try to manipulate the physical world with it, be sure that you're clear on your intentions, because
100%, because you can and will.
Yeah. There's the genie in the bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want $100, and here come 100 reindeer with horns, whatever. Right? Be clear.
That's real.
It's this meme that I used to share. It went viral a long time ago, and it's like, after you do a money spell, and then somebody offer you 10,000 to do a porno, and it's just like, yeah, I didn't want to do, I didn't want to do all of that for the money. So it's like with sexual energy, it's like it could be very attractive to people, and what it like try to be more simpler. People will say any and everything to get your attention, and they want your energy. And so it can come across like sex or relationships or friendships and blah, blah, blah. But when you're doing this energy work, you are emitting an actual frequency that you first got to learn it yourself. And once you learn it yourself, you might decide, all right, I want to share with people, or I want to create this. But it's like, yeah, you got an airplane, but it ain't really wise to hop in and just start driving it all over the sky, because you got to just really learn your mechanics. So that's why, like, when these initial feelings arise, for me, it was the astral body, out of body experience of what I was talking about yesterday. Now, I realized that I could just exit out of my body at will, but I just kind of just, I just chilled with that because I'm going to practice that in like due time, It, and what I said earlier was that it affects everybody differently. So for you, it's more energetically. For me, it's more like I can feel my astral body in real terms and like I can actually feel it and like move it around and things like that. So for me, that's what I'm actually be developing. I would say for you, develop your sexual energy so where you have a full cognizance of it through the meditation, as opposed to having the actual stimuli that might be somewhat similar, but it's not this is like the raw, uncut version of your sexual energy that you can kind of learn without the, what's the word that I'm looking for? The stimulation of the
the
erogenous
physical part of it.
zones. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Or the drama, right?
Well, amen.
Shoot.
That makes sense.
So thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
Anybody got any more questions? Thank you for that question.
I mean, I'm still kind of fucked up over here.
I hope in a good way,
in
sir.
A good way.
Like, in a like a euphoric kind of way.
Okay.
I definitely needed like a 5-minute intermission or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm that definitely unleashed some shit that I'm processing and understanding. I guess what sister was saying about the of being gentle, I think the gentleness ignited a feminine aspect in myself right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I feel it just in my chest pounding really hard right now.
Because I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna put this in there, but you know what a lot of brothers are missing nowadays is that aspect, right? But understand this is the root chakra. This is how you connect to the Mother Earth. You have never heard anybody talk about Father Earth, right? Everybody knows when we talking about the earth, we talking about a mother, because only a mother could love some dumb, badass children like we are, right? Only a mother. So Mother Earth provides for us, but that faculty within us that imitates or emulates Mother Earth begins at the root chakra, right? When you learn to manifest that root chakra energy, then it does bring that about. So, you have to think about it like, okay, how would a mother teach her young birds to fly versus, how would a father, right? It depends, different creatures are different, right? But most of the times, like in ancient cultures, the dads don't really get a hold of the kids until they like preteens or adolescents. That's when they take them out and teach them how to do things that were considered, male or more yang energy in their cultures. But initially, while the child is just nursing and stuff like that, that's mama's care, right? So this energy, what it does is it allows you to feel your nurturing nature, because that peace, TJ, peace, that nurturing nature you know, is how your body heals. Like Hood was saying, when you activate your um, when you activate your sorry, I just saw a message. When you activate this energy and you start to bring about certain changes in your body, you're enhancing your functioning of your parasympathetic nervous system. And that's different than the fight or flight. As guys in this society, we're taught to always be like hard or, you know, coming with that front, right? And it's always like that's fight or flight type energy, that posing, that posturing, that, you know, my gun is bigger or I could hit your ass faster or whatever. That's fight or flight. The rest and digest or parasympathetic nervous system is that cool player you see in the corner who don't never get into trouble. You know, they got their finger on everything.
His ass.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't never you don't never see nothing come back on them because they smooth, right? So this is that smooth player energy. This is the, how do I sit back in the cut and let the universe work for me or help me do what I'm trying to do? You know what I mean? As opposed to trying to just do everything on my own. So it is a different feeling, you know? So I appreciate that you shared that. And I would just say, you know, carry on and continue with your practice and see how you can cultivate that in your life. We all got our, like Tupac said, we all got our game from a woman, right? Cultivating the yin aspect of energy doesn't make anybody more or less, you know, of a woman or man. It just means that you're a different way. So I would say carry on, man, because the real magic of the future, like what's her name? Priestess Osset Amen, I think is her name. She was saying, you know, and other people have said it too. I think even why am I forgetting her name? The spirit doula even said it. And I know I've heard other people saying it. The magic of the future is going to be like more mental. It's going to be when you control your inner energy. It's going to be less of, oh, I got to get this herb and put it in here and mix this potion and leave this candle on this person's door. That ain't going to fly no more. It's going to be like your energy body doing the work. You know what I mean? So in order to do that, you have to have that feminine aspect present because you ain't doing it with just the male aspect. So.
Right. And I feel like when I do my Kundalini, it's always so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so forceful, and it's a different energy, and I feel the energy and I feel the electricity. But this was some other shit. Like,
yeah,
that's
the gentle part.
Yeah, I still feel the embrace. Yeah.
Yep.
So
because it's more enduring. That's the difference between yin energy and yang energy. That's why Wing Chun is such a badass martial arts style. Chun was made by a woman for women, right? But it conserves energy and its moves are swift and decisive, right? Yang type fighting does not necessarily conserve energy. It tries to throw the biggest punch. It tries to, yang energy is like Mike Tyson, you know, I'm gonna knock you out on the first round, right? Yin energy is different and it responds differently, but it's more enduring. And again, to take it back to a sexual level, right? You know, a woman can go longer than a man, and it's a man's job to try and figure out how to keep up with her. Okay. But that's that yin energy that you're feeling. It's more enduring. It might not have that same punch as the, oh, I'm about to get in this Kundalini workshop and, you know, take to the sky, right? But it's going to last all damn day or into the night.
Facts, all facts.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm fucked up still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just let it ride. I
We gonna be
appreciate
in the Slack channel. Everybody gonna be in the Slack channel. So as questions arise, be sure to ask those questions, because those questions actually help us become better teachers, better advisors, and it's necessary for people to ask those questions. So
Yeah.
keep those questions coming.
right. And then I feel like I got that. Like the question I want to ask you is like I feel like I already answered them. So it's like cool.
100%.
Cool.
That's a lot of Kundalini. If I'll say, like, how can you determine if you're doing it right, where you got all of the questions answered, because we are referencing cosmic intelligence beyond conscious intelligence. And once you deal with cosmic intelligence, I know for a fact that you know the answers. You just may not know the answers. I'm just facilitating you to that actual space where you just know you just know what it is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? At a certain level, it just get to a point where I feel like I've been saying this throughout this presentation, that we all have this Kundalini activated, whether we know it or not. We just bring in our awareness to it, because the things that you do and the things that you produce is a testimony of the divine feminine. So this overall awareness is just bringing you to awareness of the faculties that have been supporting you this whole entire time. It's just that we're just not intelligent enough to be aware of our bodies, if that makes sense. Like, our bodies is doing a lot of this work for us, but we just bring in our awareness to our feminine principle, our inner child, so forth and so on, our masculine and feminine energy coming together to make us whole again. And so as I'm feeling it and I'm connecting to my wife, throughout the night and the morning, it was just different. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, it was beyond sex. And it was like just something that it was something that I was given to her, as opposed to like motion and movement. It was more or less like energy and bliss. And I was able to like just really look and be present and not really think about myself, because I was taken care of energetically. I could give to her 110% of my energy and give her, like what we were saying earlier, like, if we are not grounded as men, we'll never catch up to women, because women might naturally be grounded. But when we are grounded as men, we might be not above, but equal to our women on a sexual level, because we are coming with the same source as she's coming with, you, if that makes sense.
1000%. Yeah.
Yep.
Do we got any more questions on the chat? We're here. And I would say that we will be adding you guys to a Slack channel. So if any questions arise, be sure to email me or place your questions on the Slack. Did somebody unmute themselves with a question, or am I tripping?
I got one more question.
Yes.
As far as like I got a lot of like innocence and child energy as well. Like what activated with the, I just saw a lot of images of me as a child and certain things to me as a child.
Right. So what was happening was hemisync. Hemisync is in that, you got to read that CIA article. It's 40 pages, but it's a good read. And what they was referencing in hemisync in specific was the right brain being more likened to an inner child, and your left brain being more likened to an adult. So when we are logical and we are, doing everything that we need to do, we are doing the things that make us feel adult. But in hemisync is the leveling or the balancing of your left and right brain. And instead of looking at it as father, son, it was just looking at it as equal. So when you are able to do the root work to stabilize your energy, maybe at a quick little aspect, the energy of your inner child was maybe showing up more rapidly and more in tune, but the idea, your presence of mind, was allowing you to actually capture those images. So it's not to say be completely creative, completely childlike. do random shit, just be, you know, yelling while people are trying to do presentations and things of that nature. However, it's not to suppress that side of you either. So when I dealt with my children, I didn't go yell at them, cuss at them, and things like that, or be hard on myself. I was just kind of calm and spoke to their mom. Can you talk to the children? Da 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 da. And I say all of that to say is when we are doing these works, we can't look at these energies like, oh, I can't do this, oh, I can't do that, because you take yourself out the meditation. So the beautiful thing about Prime's meditation was it ain't about sitting still. If you lose thought, you can kind of drift yourself back with just simply smelling yourself through this meditation. And when you actually do these meditations, what needs to come up will come up. So you actually seeing that inner child is just an indication to me that you have reached a level of balance that is allowing you to see things in totality. However, if you look at it like, I'm seeing myself as a child, as like I'm a son, as I'm like less, and I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying that concept has to be somewhat balanced into our creative and logical being one and the same. And that's hemisync, and that's what we need. That's what we need so desperately to have to actually bring us to these spiritual revelations, where it might seem complicated, gotta do this, and this. But the simple thing that what you said, man, I see, you know, images of myself as a child. Oh, now you really operating at a high level, which you just saying that. And that's just based off of my research.
I agree.
Did that answer your question or you need more clarification, Wu?
Nah. You got it, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Any more questions, family? Going once?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
question.
I'm here. I'm
How
here. I'll just be making sure.
y'all- uh, so you were explaining like sometimes when you go into like a botanica or something, you start to feel something.
Yes, indeedy.
Okay, so sometimes like when I'm walking into the grocery store or I'm out in public, I don't know if I'm energetically getting overwhelmed, but sometimes I like have to put my hand over my chest or over my solar plexus and just like breathe deep, because sometimes it feels like I'm about to just flip over, all like my feet are gonna come off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
So it's one of two things, like post COVID-19, where there was an energetic shift that happened like in the end of February going into March. And in my like in my dreams and just me just being like a spiritual sleuth, I came to realize that a portal had opened up and a lot of entities and energies were now entering. And there were some malevolent spirits combined with some positive spirits, but they had entered into this plane. And when they entered into this plane, you could they gave people like a physical reaction. And it was like, it felt likened to an alien invasion. And I say all of this to say that like now that the energy is shift and we're living in a new world, in a new planet, what's actually activating is our spiritual faculties. And this is one of the things that I'm trying to convey. A lot of these energies are already active within you. It's not to say that what we're doing is activating some stuff, but we're bringing our awareness to these certain modalities of awareness. So say, for instance, you're walking into a Kroger's and you feel something. Either you decide, okay, this isn't what I like, or this isn't what I want to feel, I'm going to leave. And once you leave and get into a space where you feel better, more calm, you either say that place is energetically a no for me. And you begin to create your world by listening to your body. What tends to happen, I'll tell you. So I felt the energy hit. This is before Trump was doing the things every day, but I knew the energy was mad suspect, but I kept driving. So I get to my destination. Guess what happened to my car? It broke down, but I felt the energy once I left the house, like maybe I shouldn't even go today because this is just not right. So when you have these particular psychic visions or psychic senses, trust them. Do something else. When you are at a particular point where you feel good, you vibrating on a level where you just are like, okay, my body is not reacting or responding in a negative fashion, then you can kind of get in tune with your body. But at another level, like another example is when I'm in the Botanica and, you know, the lady is giving me a hug and giving me free products. But before she gave me the products and we had this long conversation, my root chakra was activating like crazy and I just couldn't explain it. I asked my wife, like, you feel that? She like, yeah, I feel it too. So we get into a whole conversation 20 minutes later with this lady, talk for another 2 hours about spiritual stuff. But I already knew it was going to happen because my root chakra was activated versus, you know, maybe like a feeling of fear versus a feeling of activation. And all I say is like, learn your body, learn the different messages that your body is sending you. And then if your body is telling you no, or if you feeling like negatively, trust that point and just step away because you won't miss nothing. You know, you don't need to do anything. You really need to listen to your body and see and differentiate the messages that it sends. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Prime, I'm listening.
That's it. I gotta get my daughter outside before I break a promise, man.
Okay, you got it, man. I appreciate you for sticking around, Prime.
Yeah, but you know, you feel free to send out my email. If y'all have any questions after this, y'all go ahead and contact me, okay?
Okay. Thank you,
All right,
bro,
thanks
for your
everybody.
time.
Peace.
Have a great day.
Y'all too.
Peace, brother. Peace, peace.
Thank you, Dark Serpent.
Peace, brother.
I appreciate it.
In terms of what was you saying? You were saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, as you're explaining it, like the same feeling started to come back. So like sometimes I'm just walking or I'm doing something and it's kind of like a snake feeling, but not like my whole spine. You know, it's just like maybe in my neck or from like the shoulder blades up. And it's like I need to rotate my neck a little bit and like shake it out. But like when I'm going to certain places, like sometimes I feel it and, you know, I don't ignore it, but I kind of just like move through it and just like send the energy out because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. So I kind of like imagine a bubble around me. Like
try something different when you say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it, because that's a guess. You guessing that you don't know. I would guess in a favorable mention and begin to act in an affirmative way. And then, so intuition is not, I get a psychic sense. All right, let me look into this book. Let me do research. Let me call and ask somebody, hey, should I do this? It becomes a moment of like instantaneous action, for better or for worse, but try to stay more favorable. Because when energy comes, you saying to yourself, I don't know. But the reality is that you do know, but if you never give yourself a chance or open yourself up to like what spirit is telling you through the body. So another modality that would help you when you was talking, I was hearing water. And water is actually going to give you the clarity to differentiate whether it's you or it's for somebody else. Say, for instance, you highly hydrated and you go outside and you begin to pick up messages, you can ascertain that it's not coming from you because you did the clearing work. However, if you're not doing the clearing work, you're not really sure on where these messages is coming from, which will give you like that space of like not being sure and not being 100% locked in to what it is you should do and when you should do it, or blocking you from your intuition. So is hydration a problem for you, or you stay on top of it?
I stay on top of it. I'm sure I could drink more, but like that's all I really keep in the house is water. So throughout the day, I'm drinking water. I don't track it. I just drink when I need to.
Just normal drinking, yeah.
Yeah, I don't wait. I got cotton mouth, but you know, I just drink water. Like that's been kind of a thing for me since I was in high school. Like I gave up soda one Lent when I was Catholic, and ever since then I just been drinking mad water.
Okay, cool. So
Now, the thing that may be into consideration is the quality of it.
yeah, and that was one of the things that I was saying too, because it's like you could drink water for the sustenance version variety, but then you could also drink water to hydrate your cells. So that was one of the things that we discussed that possibly could help you, because it's like if I drink another water outside of the water that I feel comfortable drinking, then I literally feel me being dehydrated from drinking the water. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's what I feel like is happening when I'm drinking it. I feel like the water is dehydrating me. So uh, I'm not pointing fingers or picking on nobody when I say make sure you investigate your water that is hydrating your cells and begin to experiment. And once you figure out the water that actually is hydrating you from the inside out, then you can kind of really feel that clarity and feel that intuition or feel that flesh that allows you to make decisions from spirit based upon your programming of your water and your cells, so forth and so on, combined with your energy work. So it'll help you establish that clarity. So when you walking into places and you catching vibes, it's not like, I didn't know what that was. It's like, even if you don't know what it is, you can kind of guess. And
Right.
what I've learned is that my guesses, whether right or wrong, whether if I'm guessing some like negative stuff, I'm right. If I'm guessing some positive stuff, I'm right with that as well. So in the moment when it happens, make something up that's favorable until you begin to learn it in a space where it's not a guess. You can begin to affirm it, because what you're trying to rely on is like empirical knowledge to define your inner workings, and there is no empirical knowledge in that relations. So it's determined on you to develop a conversation in a modality to understand how your spirit speaks to you. And it seems to me that it speaks to you clearly. It's just that the translation or the understanding is kind of hard to narrate. So the purity that comes from the water will allow you to understand those codes without a middleman. But give it time, and please practice it if what I'm saying resonates.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
No problem. Any questions, family? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay, guys, I'm going to add everybody into our Slack. Before the night is over, I will be sending you a PDF file with, as described, this recording, Prime's guided meditation, the workbook. If you read the workbook and want it in your collection, email me afterwards and I'll send you a paperback. Those will be in this weekend. And I'll send y'all a whole bunch of goodies. It'll be a PDF file, and you can click the links as necessary. If you don't want to download it, I will upload this course as an unlisted video on YouTube, so you'll be able to stream this whole thing from the comfort of your own home. I want to thank everybody for your patience, appreciation. At the beginning, it was a little sketchy. I know y'all was rolling your eyes at me, but we made it through. And I really appreciated that you guys made it through this journey with me. Dark Serpent, thank you for holding it down. Prime Harmonic, thank you. And everybody else that was here to make this whole thing a success this weekend. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Stay tuned next month where we tackle the sacral chakra in the same veracity. I want to thank, I can't say thank you guys enough, but I'm going to keep saying it. So just be sure to look out for all of the things that I was referencing, and we'll continue on. Peace, guys, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.
Peace, family.
Peace.
Peace, brother. Appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming, man. Peace.
Always, brother.
Peace, family.
Yep. Thank you,
Peace.
guys.